lit chandeliers glow. We'll sip our worries away, nice and slow. Your laughter ripples like sweet warm wine. In this jazzy sultry space you're mine. The saxophone croons a velvet tune, while melodies dance beneath the moon. We'll toast to moments both grand and small, in this hazy, lazy, jazz-touched hall. But let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you. Your eyes, they sparkle with every click. Sweet rendezvous over a simple drink. We'll share our secrets in whispers low, just you and me where the jazz flows slow. The world outside fades into the mist, but here it's our own dreamy tryst. With each sip our worries drift away. Let's stay together till the break of day. So let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you.
The following live stream has been approved for appropriate audiences. It may contain occasional strong language and may not be suitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer inebriation is advised, though not mandatory.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to Last Call, where tonight we raise a glass to the movies that made 1986, the year cinema lost its damn mind. You got Tom Cruise in Top Gun, strutting around in aviators so cool they probably caused 3 separate divorces. He's not flying planes so much as he's sexually harassing the soundtrack. Meanwhile, Sigourney Weaver was making xenomorphs extra crispy with a power loader like it's just another Tuesday. Queen energy before we thought in those terms. Then there's the kid who skipped school so stylishly that every Gen-Xer still thinks they could pull that off. Spoiler, you couldn't. You just called in sick and watched Karate Kid Part 2 on VHS while eating cereal straight out of the box. You weren't as righteous a dude as Ferris Bueller. And let's not forget Howard the Duck. Yes, a foul-mouthed, cigar-chomping duck from outer space. Hollywood looked at that script and said, Leia Thompson in her undies? Yep, that is just fine. 1986, where the hits were legendary and the flops were legendary disasters. So raise your glass to cool shades, synth scores, and movies that slapped harder than a breakdancer on fresh linoleum. This pre-recorded Canarble Wagon rolls right now.
Last Call was recorded before no audience, except maybe Netter.
What you sipping on?
A ding-a-ling!
Yep. If you caught Liquid Lunch, you know about the ding-a-ling. We talked about it, so go back and find out what's in it. Was it just me, Boomer, or did Jonathan sound kind of sad that this is a pre-recorded stream? I mean, it's like there's nobody in the audience except maybe Netter.
Okay. Anyways, well, I figure, y'all, if it's on a Friday and as this will be showing live, perhaps I will be popping by in the chat and I can comment with you all.
There you go. And there's no knowing. I may actually be able to do the same. I don't know what my Friday's going to look like. I know that I'm physically traveling on Thursday, so I'll be there by Thursday night. But I have no. I'm sure they'll be. We'll be hanging out with friends. We'll be running around doing stuff. So I'm doubting we'll be like, in the hotel at. Well, I guess it will be. Nashville, Tennessee, I think is the same time zone. I don't know. Do we cross over into Eastern time zone when we go into Nashville? I don't know. Alexa, what time zone is Nashville, Tennessee?
Nashville is in Central Daylight Time.
Okay, so I'll still be in the same time zone. But I'm not expecting to be in the hotel room like at 9. I'm sure we'll be going out to dinner, getting some drinks, whatever. But anyway, that's what makes this unique. And I can't say hi to anybody except I'm going to say hi and a thank you for the Robin of Sherwood raid to Big Al of Big Al Presents, and of course this guy right here. So how was the rewatch, Adrian Boomer? Did you guys enjoy yourself watching Robin
I don't
Sherwood?
know, man. It was a lost episode we'd never seen. There was a bit of a drag show thing going on, and like the sheriff was coming on to Little John, and it was very I don't know, man. It was just uncovered, man. It's like those Doctor Who episodes that went missing. That this was just uncovered. It was messed up.
There you go.
I figured
But
the
then
beard would have
again,
given him away, Sheriff. I'm just saying.
well, I don't know. Maybe some of those more southerly women might have been. Well, I don't know. But Big Al, your mileage may vary. Let us know in the chat. I'd be curious to see what you thought about that. But yeah, so 1986. This would have been my, I want to say sophomore year, freshman or sophomore year. No, let's see. I was class of '89.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say sophomore year. I'm not positive, but yeah, this would have been my sophomore year. Yes, I had a girlfriend at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of tragic. By the time we get to Pretty Woman, I've broken up with her.
Well, I did want to make a disclaimer. This is summer of '86.
Right.
However, if in the future you'd like to do maybe the rest of the movies of '86, we could do that too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't focus on what was summer and what was not when I did my monologue. I just said movies of '86. I wasn't going to break it down.
I'm surprised Pretty Woman
granularly.
wasn't a summer. Of course, maybe that was a breakout hit where they weren't expecting it to be as big as it was. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
And I think most of the regulars here have heard the Pretty Woman story, but we'll cover that another time, I think. But should I get to the presentation? Should we just get right
Might
on
as well.
into it?
Didn't know if
Right on into it.
Netter's busy at the moment, but anyway.
Well, she's representing our
Audience.
live studio audience of one. Yes,
She'll be in the chat.
we get applause this way. That works. There you go.
Yeah, we had done this once before for a Friday Last Call. We did. I forgot. Was it summer of '84? I think it might have been '84.
Right.
It was the one where it was '82. It was the big one where you had Blade Runner and Conan the Barbarian and E.T. and all those coming out the same summer. And I thought, well, let's do '86 now because it's now 30 years ago, and let's see how these summer blockbusters maybe stack up against what we have now in 2000.
Please, Hollywood, don't even consider remaking these. Start making new movies, for crying out loud.
40.
So that the kids 30 years from now can have nostalgia for something they loved, for crying out loud. And a heads up to you and to the audience, Netter and I are in the tentative plans of another weekend trip for July 4th.
Okay.
So we might want to consider doing what is it called? A pre-record for
We could always do the other movies of '86 for that weekend. Maybe that'll work, huh?
Could sure.
Unless you want to do
absolutely.
something else, but we'll talk about it later.
So yeah, we got about a. Well, what do we got? Well,
Not
a
quite
little
a
less
month.
than a month.
We'll figure
yeah,
something out. Yeah, that'll work
got
fine for me
weeks.
too. Yeah.
We got
Okay.
weeks. Okay, let me get to the presentation for you.
Summer
The
of
summer of
86.
'86. The 80s summers, I think, were the best. Those were the best days of my life.
They were better than 90s summers. I like the 90s, but man, some of those 90s summer blockbusters.
Don't get me wrong. I got married in 92, so I mean those really were the best days of my life. But those were not the
I mean, for pop
relax,
culture.
everything's great, just enjoy yourself type summers of my youth. Those were the now it's time to get to work a 40 to 80 hour week,
Look at that, yeah.
and be a responsible adult, which I feel like people don't even experience now until they're well into their 30s.
Probably more 40s at this point, but anyway. Anyway, yeah, summer of 86, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
If you want to, I'm feeling old now. Look at this. Let's see how they stack up to.
You
our
feel
modern
like an older
blockbusters.
boomer, right?
I don't know, man. Maybe if entertainment was more lively now, I'd be more interested. Do you want
Yeah.
to go to the first movie on our list here?
Oh gosh, Short Circuit. Let me think. I'm trying to remember if I saw this one in the theater or not. This one ended up becoming a cable mainstay. And I remember watching it with my mother, but again, I can't remember if it was at the theater or in when it came out on cable. But this became very quotable with me and my mom. We'd joke about it.
Number 5 is Alive.
Number 5, Alive, or the best is yeah, that's Wally. Yeah. He did kind of look like a Wally's taller brother, right?
Disney ripped off something else.
I
What else
think
is
you're
new?
absolutely right. But I think, of course, the best joke is Ali Sheedy in the bathtub when the robot walks in and goes, "Stephanie, change color. Beautiful, attractive, nice software." And she's like, "Yeah."
I remember that Steve Guttenberg was also in this, I believe, right? Yes, this was. I saw this.
This
in
was
the
the
movies.
heyday of Gutenberg, because we had this was right around the time he was popular with Police Academy and three men and a baby. And,
I remember
and all
those.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, he was all over the place. And this Ali Sheedy was in this. I think I remembered her from War Games when I saw this. Oh, I'm a kid. I know her. She was in that one about the evil computer. And now we have
Now she's in one with a not so evil computer, but still
yes.
conscious. Yeah.
Well, also something the military was trying to create, right? If I
True.
recall the
And
plot,
control,
it's been ages.
exactly.
Yeah, but
So this was another one of those. This was a more lighthearted look at the cautionary tale of maybe don't strap, murder weapons to your artificial intelligent robots. Maybe not such a good idea. If Terminator didn't make it clear, when they start thinking for themselves, you might have yourself a problem.
I don't know if it was in this movie or the sequel, but he really wants to get books. He likes to reading. I have to get these 2 books, and then you find out what 2 books he's trying to read in. One is Pinocchio.
Input.
Yes, Pinocchio and Frankenstein, because that's how he was feeling, basically. And he's not wrong. I mean, sort of how he was being treated, yeah.
Well, Frankenstein is probably the perfect analogy. But he could read it as a cautionary tale. Don't be like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to Pinocchio, where I'm on the same journey that kid, that little Italian kid was, but maybe I try not to make the mistakes he did too. That's really what these kinds of fantasy fiction are supposed to be. They're generalizable to the lessons of growing up and what you deal with in life. Let's face it, Frankenstein, cautionary tale to scientists, whether it's medical or making machines or whatever. When you play God, you don't possess the wisdom to handle it. So pride goes before a fall. Don't. And you look, and unfortunately, people tend to look at these things and goes, well, this is fantasy. This could never happen. Here we are a couple hundred years out, and you go, yeah, we're literally doing that.
Yeah. And I did want to point out, though, that I forget back then, but we used to go to see movies also kind of for the effects, like how they do that, That was always a thing. Remember that?
And sometimes I found, especially, in this era of films, you could tell, and if you had a little bit of knowledge of special effects, you knew exactly how it was done. You could tell it was a special effect. It didn't look photorealistic. I'm thinking about the electrical effects in Short Circuit, as well as like the proton effects in Ghostbusters, things like that. It was an animation effect, but it was an animation effect. I hesitate to call it CG because it wasn't, but it did use computer amplified and augmented contrasts and lighting effects, that very 80s, just like you see going around me right now, that kind of a neon effect that is so quintessentially 80s. I mean, kind of like soft focus is so quintessentially 70s.
Yeah, or slow-mo.
Or slow
motion.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the 80s electricity. There's no electricity like 80s electricity. And the first time I think I saw 80s electricity was in Return of the Jedi with the Emperor electrocuting Luke. That's that 80s electricity coming out of his hands, and then you start seeing it in other movies. Weird.
I'll be honest, you get a little bit of it in Highlander as well.
Oh yeah.
It's not always, because they did use some really good practical electric effects. In fact, Christopher Lambert kind of said, "Yeah, I got shocked a whole bunch filming some of those scenes, which kind of sucked." But so some of that was very, very real. But then, of course, those quickening effects when he's floating in midair and stuff, that's all animation, and it's meant to be. They don't need it to be super realistic. They're acknowledging this is a fantasy scene. Magic, it's a kind of magic. Go with it,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's a lot of there's a lot of fantasy in these '80s movies. We're going to get to an actual fantasy movie tonight too, which you may be familiar with. But moving on to, of course, Top Gun. Big deal. Tom Cruise, Kelly McGillis.
This is the movie that makes me really realize that when I was a kid, even though, I had gay friends and I knew what being gay was, I had zero gaydar. Because I really did kind of crush on Kelly McGillis. And then as time went by, you're like, wait a minute.
Really? This is news to me, but okay.
Yeah. She prefers the taco to the sausage. Yeah.
You're shocking me. This is like the Sean Connery with the piece, and I freaked out when you mentioned that he wore a piece
really?
blonde. And then I corroborated, during Live and Let Die, some chapters where came by his place. Didn't see him with the haircut on. He says, I thought I'd be seeing James Bond. No, you're seeing Sean Connery. That's what he told him, when they were filming in Japan. But no, big deal. Big song in this movie, Take My Breath Away, right?
By Berlin.
Yeah.
Lead singer was the one that decided she wanted to do that, and the rest of the band wasn't real fired up about it. And it ended up being their biggest hit, and it's kind of I don't know if it ended the band, but it caused a lot of grief because the band hated the song. She loved the song. They had to perform it on a regular basis, obviously, because it was so popular, and they felt like they'd sold out. And it's like,
really,
guys, you're a little bit too far up your own asses. Just go with, because it's good music. It really is.
Save that attitude for the 90s.
It would fit in better, right? Yeah.
But no, I mean, this had a great cast. We of course have Val Kilmer as the Iceman in this movie.
He was great. That attitude, that strutting attitude of his was just perfect.
And Anthony Edwards as Goose, right? As I recall, his good friend in this, which of course there's a bit of
was that a big film breakout?
He was in Revenge of the Nerds, but was this prior to that? Maybe.
No. I think Revenge of the Nerds. Oh, somebody look up Well, somebody's going to look it up, and they're not here to. I'm not going to be here to hear the answer. What year did Alexa? What year did Revenge of the Nerds get released?
Revenge of the Nerds was released in 1984.
Yeah. So this
That was
was
his
this
breakout.
was 2 years before that, and yeah, because I remember him being a bit younger. He was college age then, maybe a little bit older, officer material. Here that makes sense. So yeah, I think he was definitely an emerging star then.
Got a second career on the show ER as well as
Yep.
Dr. Green. And of course, there's the "Fly into the Danger Zone" song. Is it the actual title?
Danger Zone, right? By
Danger Zone.
Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
That was the hard hitting, get your heart pumping, rock piece. Whereas "Take My Breath Away" was, let's face it, that was the power ballad. This was the era of the power ballad, right? But every movie needed that song, that lead song that you could take and throw into your workout mixtape. Danger Zone was absolutely for
Like "Eye of the Tiger," that would be another one.
Eye of the Tiger was for pumping iron, but Danger Zone was definitely for your hard cardio runs.
Yeah.
And this, unfortunately, the thing that I feel like we lacked at this stage in the 80s, this was early days for first-person video games. So the flight simulators that we had at the time were, let's just say, they were frustrating. And this is the kind of thing that would have worked a lot better if we had the kind of video games we have today, where you could have some really, hard-hitting flight simulator type games. But I'll tell you, this was a recruitment film for the naval pilot program. It really was.
Well, this was a very patriotic movie, probably at a time when we were still kind of reeling from the Vietnam War, and
we were right in the midst of the Cold War. So there's a lot of films that came out, whether it was Top Gun, Rocky IV, all the Rambo movies, Missing in Action, all those kinds of movies. People kind of looking at an era in history and saying, look, it's one thing to desire peace. It's another thing to turn your back on the people who volunteer to keep you safe.
Yeah.
It
wouldn't shock me, though, if the Sega arcade game, though you were mentioning earlier about games, Afterburner was inspired by this movie.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Every flight simulator game that came after this absolutely was directly trying to tap into a little bit of that Top Gun,
And I recall that game had super scalar technologies. They didn't have polygons yet, but they had it so the sprites could get really big and really small. They couldn't really duplicate that on a console, and you would actually sit there like you're in the actual cockpit of the aircraft in the arcade. I remember that. There was a Top Gun NES game, which if you watch the Angry Video Game Nerd, you can see him screaming about it.
Trying to land the ship. Was that the segment?
He couldn't land it, and then he landed it by, I think they said if you put the power glove on, you can land the ship in Top Gun, which makes me think, did they sell this peripheral?
Was that a marketing thing?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. It's like I never had the power glove, and I never played Top Gun on the NES for that matter. Yeah. But, but that's Top Gun. Big deal when it came out. It's interesting. I remember Oliver Stone was worried later on there because he was releasing Platoon. He's like, we just had Top Gun come out, this big patriotic movie. Now I'm doing my serious Vietnam flick. No one's going to see this movie. But, of course, they did later on with Platoon.
There was a place for both of those because you did need to... Look, you can support your troops without supporting the war, right?
Yeah.
You can... But you take your ire out on the deep state hacks, the war whores that are in office, and vote those effers out. But you don't hold it against the military. They're there to protect you. And they're literally putting their lives on the lines. They don't deserve to be
No.
spat on and have their funerals picketed.
They've had to deal with enough while they're on mission. Leave them alone,
Right?
leave them home. Yeah, I'm just what did I want to make a point about though? Oh, and did you know who they originally wanted for this movie to direct? It was going to be what's his name? Darn, I just had his name in my head. The guy that made a movie that we're going to cover in a little bit. The Canadian director makes creepy body horror.
Yeah.
The Fly director.
Gosh.
Why does this happen to me? Not David Lynch. Hold on, let me look it up. See, it even happens when we're pre-recording. Darn it.
Body horror. Yeah,
Fly.
and there's right now there's people in the
Cronenberg.
Yeah,
David Cronenberg. I knew it wasn't David.
Cronenberg. Yeah, exactly.
They wanted no. David Cronenberg was being set. This is not my movie. He says, and nothing against it, but this is not the kind of movie I do. I will not do a good job with it. So.
Yeah, he says if someone doesn't crash their plane and get horribly disfigured, this isn't my movie.
Well, that might happen, but it happens off screen. Like I'm not.
Right.
Spoiler alert for an old movie. Can you just give me the thing? And of course, we did get directing this a very well-known director in the form of Tony Scott.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I believe the Bruckheimer was a producer on this, Jerry Bruckheimer. So. Mm-hmm. All right. Moving right along. Top Gun though had a sequel. It's going to get a third movie, so we'll see how that turns out. Cobra. Crime is the disease. Meet the cure.
Absolutely. Oh, gosh. This was a great movie.
Stallone.
I definitely saw this one in theaters. I definitely went with my mom. We saw everything that Stallone did. Absolutely. I mean, let's face it. He was Italian, so we had to. It was like an obligation.
This movie.
Move us down a little bit so that you can.
There we go. Crime is the disease. Meet the cure. Wow.
Yeah. So this was and this wasn't new in the 80s. I mean, we had Death Wish and we had stuff like that, but it's
Dirty Harry was still going even in the 80s. Yeah.
Dirty Harry, absolutely. That's true. You're absolutely right. We were still getting latter day hair.
We had two more
Dirty Harry
to come.
films. Yeah. And but this was definitely setting the stage for things like The Punisher and so forth.
It has the way he takes out the bad guy at the end. Spoiler: by hanging him on a meat hook and sending him into flames. It's
like I am going to really drive this one home. Yeah, crime doesn't pay.
This is how tough Stallone is. He comes home to his apartment and he takes out some pizza and he takes out a big Bowie knife and just starts eating the pizza with the Bowie knife. That's how tough he is. I'm joking. That's ridiculous. Takes place during Christmas time.
Oh, so it's a Christmas movie.
I'm not going to go there. I already. Me and Birdman were already taunting Big Al with this. I think I watched this on Birdman's channel. Did I also watch it on Netter or Al's channel? I think we've done it twice now. So it's like, this is a ridiculous. Bridget Nielsen, right? His wife at the time.
I think so. Yeah.
Or maybe they met on the set, and this is how the sparks flew.
They met. Was this before or after Rocky IV?
Oh, right.
She was in Rocky IV as well. Yeah.
But there's a lot of interesting.
Alexa, what year was Rocky IV released?
Rocky IV was released in 1985.
Okay, so you're probably right. They met probably on this set. And then he got her into Rocky IV.
Cobra is the final film which featured collaboration between Stallone and Nielsen after Rocky IV until we got Creed 2 in 2018. Interesting. Okay. One of the things I love, it starts out, the beginning of the movie starts out in a grocery store, and you have this guy saying, "I'm the hero of the new world," and he starts shooting at everyone, and there's this one poor guy in the store, and he says, "Go ahead and leave. You're free." And the guy runs to the entrance, and then as soon as before he makes the entrance, he gets plugged in the back by the guy. And of course, all the reporters are there. I call them the vultures in this movie. They're Did you really need to use such violence against this guy? And then he pulls over the guy he shot and said, "What about him? What do you care about? What happened to him? The violence committed to him? You know?"
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it's
Well, and I do like that, because this attitude about the media, it's always been there. It's not new.
yeah.
You know, we were talking about this in the 80s. We were talking about it in the 70s, the 60s. You know, the whole "if it bleeds, it leads" thing, we've had nothing but utter contempt for. So,
I do love when Sloane's talking to this guy and he's like, "Go ahead and talk. I'm a sucker for good conversation." Remember?
Yeah.
And it's so, the dialogue in this movie, man. This is 80s action peak dialogue.
It's just meant to be
it's
one-liners
ridiculous.
and very simplistic. It's way more action.
It's what they,
Don't get me wrong, though. I mean, there's a story here, and he's got a character he's playing, and you sympathize with that character, and you're like, yeah, it's good. It's good.
Does he have alligator boots? Oh no!
I hope so.
No, they'd have to be snakeskin. My mistake. They'd have to be snakeskin boots that he has as he shows up on. His name is Cobretti, but they call him the Cobra. Yeah, that's right. Yes, and it's
wasn't it Marion Cobretti?
Yeah, and I don't know.
Marion Cobretti.
I think so, and he's on the psychopath squad in the police department, I guess, like at night. I half expected Billy D. Williams to show up as his partner, but I forgot that it was that was in Nighthawks, where Billy D. Williams was his partner. But I'm just just I don't know, man. I mean, it's Cobra. I don't know what I can say about this. It's 80s action. It's got the dude that played the shapeshifter on the X-Files as the main villain, that I think is leading a bunch of homicidal Satanists or something that go around kidnapping random people. This was apparently supposed to be the original what Stallone wanted when he was going to be hired for Beverly Hills Cop. He wanted this to be Beverly Hills Cop. It would have been like this. So if you want to see what the Stallone version of Beverly Hills Cop, it's this movie.
That's this. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Getcha.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get to Poltergeist 2.
Poltergeist 2. I was still reeling from the first Poltergeist movie, and I was very, very uncertain if I wanted to see this one, but I don't know. I almost feel like this was my okay. You're older now. You can handle this now.
Yeah, she's older, wiser. Yeah.
I dug the lore development that came with this one. So yeah, I didn't have as much of a problem with this one.
Wasn't it some
cult? I would say because of my age.
It was some cult leader, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Looked like the tall man. I don't know.
Well, and I don't know this. This is pure speculation based on absolutely nothing. But they had the whole storyline from the first movie about it was originally an Indian burial ground, and I think they were even back then starting to go, that's a little unfair. Making out the all supernatural is because some Native Americans buried people here.
Well, wait a minute, though. No, it was a regular graveyard, I thought, in the original.
Well,
I've heard the Indian burial ground get tossed around everywhere in urban legends, and I think that's probably what they drew from. But I don't know that it was an Indian burial ground in the actual movie. Yes.
It seemed like Poltergeist was just trying to amp the levels up.
Well, sure.
Native Americans bury people here. Then you had your own burial ground here.
Okay.
And I guess that's fine, but you desecrated the native land. You then desecrated your own resting places of your own dead. So absolutely the dead here are not at rest. And then by this movie, they add yet another level where you find out, these Pilgrim era, these settler era people that were following a cult leader, were definitely not at rest. And they really do get into the supernatural elements with what's her name, the Magic Munchkin, and what's her name?
I forget. She's been on everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's the one that kind of taps into what the difference is between this life and the next, and the whole light is where you want to go and stuff. And of course, the preacher doesn't want to give up his power. He has kind of set himself up as I'm kind of extrapolating what they're implying, but he has set himself up as a modern day Lucifer. Reign on earth. Be a god on earth. In his little, he doesn't want to give up his power. And she's like, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. You're kind of breaking from nature, and your people are suffering because of it. Not to mention all the living around them are suffering because of it. So, yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen this. Do they involve like an Indian shaman at some point in this movie to help her out? I'm trying to think, like a Native American shaman, whatever tribe.
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay.
I really don't
know.
remember. That was a common trope, though, in the 80s, for better or for worse.
Like they have special knowledge of how to stop this guy. We have to go,
Well, I do feel like this is another one of those. Maybe don't dismiss stuff too easily. I think we are very easily dismissive of folk tales and ancient
I'm not.
that we associate with woo woo. Come to find out, I mean, you can go check it out, but there was just a science report released recently that some scientists have discovered a third circulatory system within the human body.
What?
Yep. There's of course there's the cardiovascular. Yeah. Obviously, the lymphatic system. Well, there's another one that moves things between muscles and skin and so forth. And not only did they discover that things could move between body parts through the body, not through the ordinary circulatory system in ways that people were surprised by, but then some people started looking and comparing it to Asian acupuncture. And going, hey, wait a minute. It looks like they might have been onto something. They called it different things, but they were aware of something for over 1,000 years that we're just discovering. So it happens. It happens. So Shakespeare was not mistaken when he said there are greater things in heaven and on earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy, Horatio. So keep an open mind.
Do you
won't fall out.
Do you like the poster?
That if that didn't inspire Skinamarink, I'd be really shocked.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah. And it really, look, what is it? It's a little girl talking on her toy phone with a blanket. In and of itself, there's nothing scary about it. The lighting, isolating her, that sets up your threshold, right, of light and darkness, and that's where the fear starts. And then you look at that situation from the child's point of view, and then you think, what is she hearing on that phone that maybe an adult wouldn't? That makes it very creepy.
If it was Freddy Krueger, you'd see a tongue coming out of that for one of the phone things. Like that.
That's another stream. Yes, absolutely.
That's another stream, which we don't have one of those this summer, unfortunately. I don't know anything about this movie. Big Trouble, John Cassavetes. I think Peter Falk is in it. Are you familiar with it at all?
I want to say that I saw this on cable, but I have zero memory of it. I don't remember it at all. Who else was in it?
Let me see here. Big Trouble.
Is that Beverly D'Angelo in the center?
It might be. Hold on.
I probably watched it just for that reason.
I think it was her. Yeah, I think Beverly D'Angelo is in this movie. And let me see here. Big Trouble, 1986 film, American comedy. John Cassavetes, starring Peter Falk, Alan Arkin, Beverly D'Angelo, and Charles Durning. Okay, it might be good. I just didn't know. I never heard of this, so I need to go look for this movie. So okay.
I'll bet you it's on Tubi. Somebody look it up and help out your friends in the chat if you want to find it.
Moving on to Invaders from Mars, a remake by Tobe Hooper. Did you see this movie?
I
don't recall.
Oh.
The title absolutely sounds familiar.
This is a redo of the same movie from the 1950s.
Right.
Golan Globus production, and usually I would know at those, as a kid. But I watched this one.
Kind of have a love-hate relationship with their films, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. But the thing with this is, in fact, was this Tobe Hooper? Hold on, let me double check on that. This was a remake, but because horror movie directors are very good at doing things on a budget. This movie ended up being pretty good. Didn't feel cheap to me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, and I think it's because of that. And Tobe Hooper did direct this. Okay, and it's rather neat. It's about this kid in town, and then suddenly his parents start acting weird. Like maybe they're possessed by something. You get an Invasion of the Body Snatchers vibe.
Sure.
Because he sees this spaceship. I think his dad goes down to investigate, and he comes back. Everything's fine. Nothing's there. And he's acting all weird, and I think he's eating raw eggs. It's like weird stuff starts happening at the breakfast table. And then his teacher's acting weird, who's played by the actress that played Nurse Ratched, who was also Kai Gwynn on Deep Space Nine.
Right.
That wonderful actress. And it's just a genuinely creepy sci-fi movie from the 80s. And for some reason, the 80s, you could take a movie from the 50s and set it in the 80s, and it's not. I feel the two eras are sort of complementary to each other.
I agree.
So it's not that out of whack. And good little creepy sci-fi film if you've not seen it. I'm sure Big Al knows of it. I almost rank it with movies like Critters and things like that. Throw it in with those. It's kind of neat.
I'll definitely check it out. At least refresh my memory on it.
Yeah, it has a very Invasion of the Body Snatchers vibe, except that in addition to that, there's also other horrible aliens in this too. Okay, but yeah.
I'll tell you, a poster like that almost makes me feel there's like a Lovecraftian, color out of space kind of vibe to it.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely like a redo of one of those 1950s horror sci-fi type movies. So yeah.
Do you get to see the aliens in this one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And the kid figures out how to stop them too. I think he figures out what their weakness is. I think, or how to get.
Are they like allergic to water or something like that?
Nothing like that. He does something with copper in the movie. I don't know if the copper is to get into the ship or if the copper because they need. So he does something with pennies. To get in. Gotcha. Oh, Karen Black was in this.
Of course, Karen Black was in just about every horror movie back then.
She was also in the Invasion of the Body. Was she in the Invasion of the Body Snatcher? Oh no, I'm thinking of somebody else.
No. Okay. She was in the one with the little Zuni.
The Zuni fetish doll. Yes, Trilogy of Terror. That's right.
That's the one. Yeah.
Hunter Carlson, Bud Cort was in this. Yeah, it had a
of course, Bud Cort was in it.
Louise Fletcher. Oh, Louise Fletcher. That was the one who played Nurse Ratched. Yeah, she's in this.
Right.
Good little fright fest. But that isn't R-rated, or was it R-rated? I don't know, but I figured it's something I would try to catch on cable anyway. So, all right, moving on to the My Little Pony.
You are not serious.
I had to throw this in here.
Oh gosh!
I know you were there, front and center. Right?
I'll tell you. Here's something. This is probably not where you expected me to go with this, but take a look at that poster that you're showing. That was a heavy-duty vinyl poster with those brads that you would use to string it up like a tarp. Those things were very heavy, very sturdy. That was popular for a brief while. I'm not entirely certain what prompted those, but I remember trying to display those at the video store, and it's not easy if you don't already have a planned infrastructure for them. So,
yeah.
But anyway, no, I know absolutely. I didn't have a little sister. I wasn't a girl myself. I was not into these toys.
I did not like this stuff, man. This was more of this saccharine cute crap that was all over the 80s. People look at the 80s and it's all nostalgia. It's like, yeah, you're forgetting some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember being a kid being offended that something like this existed. I remember that. I don't know, young boy. I don't like cutesy things.
It never bothered me. I always assumed it was for a much younger audience.
I always assumed it was for girls, but I know we can't say that things are for one.
No, that could be for blonde girls too. I mean, although, like I said, I could imagine my brother. My brother didn't actually get into My Little Pony, but he would definitely be into a cartoon like this.
There was a cartoon. I never watched it. In fact, I will profess even ignorance of the new cartoon, which apparently got a huge following, which topic for another stream. Actually, Snarky J has a very nice video on My Little Pony you should check out.
She really does, and she gets into the topics that we might squeam away from.
The most offensive of these was Rainbow Bright, and I keep thinking that blonde girl is Rainbow Bright. Was there a crossover here?
I don't think
it's
so.
It's like a world's finest thing. Let's move on. All right, that's enough there. Okay. Raw deal.
Yes. Because if there was a Stallone movie, there had to be a Schwarzenegger film. This
one is. Have you seen this one?
I'm sure I have, but it just falls into
it's lesser Schwarzenegger.
Generic Schwarzenegger action film to me, yeah.
It's interesting because he's going up against the mob in this one, so it's not like Alien. It's not like some dystopian future movie.
Yeah.
There's a scene where I guess he took like a podunk sheriff's position out in the middle of nowhere, and his wife wants him to. Why you had to get everybody on the force angry? Now we're stuck out here in the boonies, and she's all drinking, and then she throws a cake at him, and you know what he says? He says, "Don't drink and bake."
Oh, God, that's terrible.
That was one of the lines in this movie. Don't drink and bake. Does she end up dying? I think he ends up, they end up making him, like, pretend dead, and then he goes into his protection. Because I think his wife was done with him anyway, and then he goes undercover to go after this mob boss. I don't remember. It's been a while. I mean, there might be some big fans in the chat. It's fine. I mean, he has his one-liners in it.
I mean, this is the kind of movie where, okay, so all the cover that people give to genre films, oh, it's okay, just let people enjoy it. That's what these kinds of movies are for. This doesn't destroy any franchises. This isn't a remake, a reboot, or anything. It's just a standalone, generic action film for you to go and enjoy and eat your popcorn. That's what this is for. Keep your damn hands off my Star Wars, Doctor Who, Star Trek, Marvel, DC, whatever.
Well, I'll be blunt. If they had just done a Mandalorian movie like this, where he's just going and taking out like an organized crime guy,
right?
It'd be fine,
right?
I mean, this movie isn't offensive. It's just it's not one of the more thought-provoking Arnold movies. I always figured there were two tiers. There were the thought-provoking ones, and then there was...
I'll tell you, I mean, it's not Total Recall, where you're sitting at the end going, is he alive or is he dead? Is he in a coma? What's going on here?
I love Total Recall. We will get to that at some point.
Yep.
Best trailer ever for a movie was Total Recall's trailer.
Yeah. Was good.
I got excited. Get ready for a surprise, and the lady, and he throws the head.
Yeah, exactly.
And blows up the evil, I guess, corporate guys, whoever's running Mars. Anyway, Raw deal. It's not bad. Watch it with Cobra. There's your double feature. Okay, that might be a good double feature.
Good point. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Space Camp. Yeah, Kate Capshaw. Oh.
Yeah, I had the hots for Kate Capshaw.
Right, who did?
Okay, I'm just saying. I get why Spielberg married her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and she was in this, and this is all about the kids and their training.
But you know who else? Leia Thompson. Leia Thompson.
Right.
Uh-huh. We'll talk more about Leia Thompson in a bit, but
I should rewatch this. It's been a number of years, but I remember liking this as a kid. But I think the crux of it is this. They're just in space camp, and then through a mishap, they end up in space. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Right.
They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to actually be in space. It's like, are they going to die?
Actually,
they're kids?
You know who else was in this?
Hold on, I'll look it
up. Kelly Preston.
Yeah, he's got a good cast.
She married to John Travolta?
Yes, she was, as I recall.
Yeah.
Yes. Did she die?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, because I thought they actually had a good marriage, from what I'd heard.
Yeah.
So yeah. Kate Capshaw, Leia Thompson, Kelly Preston, Leaf Phoenix. Is that rated River Phoenix?
Yep. I actually don't know, to be honest with you.
Tom Skerritt was in this too. So Tate Donovan, yeah, I had a. I'm half expecting to see Emilio Estevez in here, but okay.
I know he was in just about everything at the time. Yeah,
yeah, but no, I mean this is fine. It was this is what I call a teenage movie, right? Like something for the teenagers.
Exactly right. And teenagers in a wild circumstance that you'd like to believe, yeah, I could handle that if I was in that situation. Yeah, 2020, she passed.
I see. Yeah,
it was breast cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's the worst. Save the boobies, really, for crying out loud.
All right, moving on to, we got a lot to get through. Let's see. This is the man, the myth, the legend. This is Ferris Bueller.
You've got to know that this is. If nothing else, it's a John Hughes film, filmed in the Chicagoland area.
Yep.
So every single scene, I can tell you exactly where that is, and I've been there. And there were some summer weekends that we would me and my buddy Otto, we'd get together and we'd just kind of go around to the different filming locations and hang out. And
there's a scene in this movie where he, in order to get into a fancy restaurant, he claims to be the sausage prince of Chicago, right? Some son of, I guess, some sausage manufacturer, I guess, in the Chicago area.
That would be the Sausage King.
Sausage King,
Mr. Froman.
Yes.
I remembered that. And this was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. What the plot line? Ferris Bueller hates school, as who wouldn't? And he figures out ways to get out of going to school. It's so bad that there's a Ferris Bueller fund.
Yep.
And who played his sister in this? Oh, it was, what's her name? The one from
Gray.
Yeah, she's, and they're doing the Save the Ferris Fund, and she's like, no. And then he has his uptight friend with the fancy car. His dad has the fancy car. And,
that was played by Alan Ruck, and that was Cameron.
Cameron, right.
And Mia Sara, as I recall.
Yeah.
And there's, of course, the principal in this movie, who is always after him.
Ed Rooney.
Yes. He had his own storyline where he keeps trying to catch it, figuring that he's playing hooky and I'm going to get him. All right.
There was definitely that Javert, Jean Valjean kind of thing going on there, or Moby Dick or whatever. But
funny movie.
And we made a joke a couple weeks ago during the members' night at the movies. We did War Games. And I made a joke. I'm like, this Ferris Bueller prequel is weird. And it's true. I mean, he kind of plays a very similar character. Very computer tech savvy, kind of guy who changes his grades.
Did use a fancy keyboard to do sound effects of him throwing up, remember?
Yeah. Exactly.
I have to tell you, it was brilliant. You're a kid and you're thinking, why haven't I thought of all of this stuff?
So I riffed on this in the monologue, but I will tell you that there was for Senior Ditch Day. Well, actually, it was my junior year. It was my buddy Otto's senior year. We did do a ditch day, and we went downtown, and we just. I mean, it is a little harder to get into trouble when all you're doing is just kind of taking the day off and going around downtown, but it was a lot of fun. And to us, it was our version of Ferris Bueller. In fact, we felt we'd elevated Ferris Bueller's Day Off because we took the day off and didn't have to worry about anything and didn't have to hide from anyone and didn't have to, pull all kinds of shenanigans to have a good time. So. And there was no parade happening on our particular day, so it's not like we could, jump up on a float and sing a Beatles song.
Does that happen in this movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Well, shake it up, baby, now. And then, of course, the whole float is dancing and the band is playing. And, I got to be honest with you, even as a kid, I would look at that and go, is this really happening or is this all in his head? Is he, maybe taking the day off for real, but kind of embellishing, what's happening in his mind,
Maybe. And then, of course, we have the famous end credits where the movie doesn't end during the credits.
Yes.
You see what happens to the principal getting onto the school bus and having to sit next to some girl that gives him some warm gummy bears that have been in my pocket, so they're really warm. Remember that? And it was
God, yeah. And he throws it at the seat in front of him. It's like, really? You're trying to track down a kid for truancy, and you're littering on the school bus, dude? What is your thing?
He's had a bad day. You know what is funny about this? Him trying to find Ferris, and I think doesn't a dog attack him in one scene when he's by the house?
Yep.
It's almost reminding me of like this might have been a precursor to Home Alone, the stuff he was thinking of for Home Alone.
Oh, could be. What were you saying, Linda?
Is this the first time that they had a scene after all the credits? Was this like the precursor to all those other ones?
It's the first that I remember.
I remember.
I'm sure there might have been others, but this was the one that had. So, like I said, me and Otto used to go to the movies like all the time, and from this point on, we decided we are going to stay to the end of the credits for every single movie. Why? Well, for a couple reasons. One, you never know when there's going to be a stinger like this, right? Secondly, we were paying what we thought was big money to go see this movie. And it's like, damn it, I'm going to stay and watch every single thing, hear every single note of music.
You are perfectly in your rights to stay to the end of the credits.
Right.
Okay, yes.
Right.
And I think in this movie he comes out and says, "What are you still doing here? Go home." And he's wearing a
Movie's
bathrobe.
over. Go home.
And then he walks a little way and then he looks behind his head again. Go home. I cracked up.
That has been
funny.
So parodied in it was most famously you guys know it from Deadpool.
Yep.
Adult movies have even done that. So just what are you still doing here? Wasn't 2 hours of porn enough for you? Go get some sleep.
Okay, I'd hesitate to say what they'd say. Probably take a cold shower, maybe. But anyway.
Right, exactly.
Moving on, though. Ferris Bueller, though, classic. I should rewatch it this summer. That might be on my docket. Yeah. Of course, another great comedy, Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield.
Absolutely, Rodney Dangerfield. There's some great lines that you may have even quoted without even realizing that it came from this movie. A lot of tropes in this film that have worked their way into pop culture. This was a great movie. I was not all that aware of Rodney Dangerfield. This was, Rodney Dangerfield was like my parents' and grandparents' era of comedy, And I remember my grandmother saying she really didn't like Rodney Dangerfield. My grandfather said, "Well, you got no sense of humor, Mayor. This guy's hysterical. He's a genius." But
it's funny. If you ever watch The Simpsons, there was an episode of Rodney Dangerfield guest stars on The Simpsons as Mr. Burns' long-lost son.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, and it's funny because like he goes to this fancy party and says, "Oh, look, it's Lady Hilda von Batten or something at some party," and he's a little portly. He says she's coming out, and he says, "Well, put her back in. She ain't done yet." He says stuff like it's just the way he said it. And I think he embarrasses Mr. Burns because he's uncouth, because he's Rodney Dangerfield basically.
Right, absolutely.
I think they even at the end they even played the Back to School song for the every day I. What's the song that goes with this movie?
I don't remember the music from it.
Kurt Vonnegut has a cameo in this movie.
He absolutely does. The whole shtick is that. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a lot of years, but Rodney Dangerfield is playing a guy who's independently wealthy, but he decides to go back to school to get his degree. Am I right so far? And
yes.
As part of his writing assignment, he gets Kurt Vonnegut to write the paper for him about Kurt Vonnegut's own book. And he doesn't get a very good grade, and it's like, how does this happen? The guy, the author wrote the paper himself, for crying out loud. You know?
Was this some snooty professor that hated him and you don't belong in the school? Also, because he's romancing one of the professors there, the lady professors there, as I recall, right?
Of course.
Sam Kinison has that wonderful scene.
Oh,
where
I
he freaks out in the class. Yes, it's about. I think he's. You have to watch it. He has a freak out scene where he gets to talk about
like, play a comical freak out like Kennison. He was amazing.
Robert Downey Jr., I believe, is in this movie.
Oh, right. You always had him playing the delinquent high school, sometimes bully.
In this, he's okay though. He's the friend of Downey Jr.'s son in this. Who, Burt Young, Keith Gordon, Adrienne Barbeau is in this. Interesting. Ned Beatty.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. Danny Elfman made the music. That's interesting. For some reason I kept thinking Morgan Fairchild was in this movie, but I think I'm thinking of a different movie. Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah. All right, but no, great classic comedy. You see, this is the thing. You could make comedies for low money and they do big box office, and then Hollywood decided they didn't want to do that.
And this wasn't a terribly offensive movie, but you couldn't have Rodney Dangerfield without some mildly offensive, because he was very insulting humor.
Yes. An insult comic.
Don Rickles.
No, you're right. Not as bad as Don Rickles. In fact, Rodney Dangerfield took it on himself as much as anyone else. He was self-deprecating as much as he was ripping on other people.
Oh, Don Rickles funny, though. I'm sorry. I find Don Rickles funny.
Yep. Yeah, that was another one my grandmother hated. Oh, the Manhattan Project. I did see this one in theaters.
This is, okay, I got this confused with something else. This is about a high school kid that makes a nuclear bomb, atomic bomb, for his science fair.
And whether you realize it or not, I don't know if the movie acknowledges this, but kind of based on real life. This kind of really happened.
Is this like Real Genius, or is it more like a serious version? Is this serious or comical? That's my big question.
It's kind of serious because, okay, so let me tell you the real story. There was a kid, I want to say it was in the 50s or 60s. He was a Boy Scout.
Okay.
And he was trying to get, I can't remember if it was a science merit badge or something like that. And back then it was actually easier than you would think to be able to get a hold of nuclear material. Let's face it, you actually could get little bits of uranium and stuff for your little science projects. You'd buy these science projects in the toy aisle. You know, They would have all different kinds of experiments that you could do, and they would come with the different chemicals that you needed, and one of them was uranium, so that you could, test the little Geiger counter and, see it glow in the dark and all this kind of stuff. Very, very dangerous stuff. Guys,
what?
Look into it. People have done whole YouTube videos about it. Well, what he did was he went out and he got a bunch of these things. They weren't terribly expensive back then. And he took all the uranium from them, and he built himself a reactor in his backyard. And he did it just to demonstrate it could be done. And it caused all kinds of problems, not least of which people getting sick and and whatnot, and decontamination.
I'm seeing SWAT men like crash into the window in his living room now or something, just
not quite like that, because it was one of those things where the government was a little slow to figure out what was going on, because this wasn't, somebody creating a bomb and then calling in and saying, I've made a nuclear bomb, come and find me, like in a movie or something. It's just the neighbor's cat and dog and all of his hamsters died. They got sick and died. And your mom's hair is falling out. I don't remember the details. I'm kind of embellishing here, but it was those kinds of things. And then the inspections start happening, and then they start, Geiger counter that leads right to the shed in the guy's backyard, and they're like hazmat suits and all this kind of stuff, and the kid's like, what's going on? And, oops, I didn't know. I didn't realize it would be so bad. I always wondered if he got his merit badge or not. But anyway, that's the true
They
story.
should have created a merit badge for him. Could have the atom on it or something. I mean, come on.
And in fact, by this point, I'd be surprised if Nate hasn't already looked it up, found the kid's name, sent you like a Wikipedia article or something to check out. But yeah, that leads to this fictionalized version of that story, probably set in a more modern 80s era. I can't remember the details of this movie.
Okay.
I remember going to see it thinking I was going to see something about the development of
yeah, that's what I would figure when I would see this, like Oppenheimer or something, right?
No. It was meant to be. It was meant to evoke that, but modern day, still wrestling with the technology of nuclear physics and stuff. Yeah.
Sounds like it was this summer's War Games.
Actually, it's not a bad analogy. You're kind of on that. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, I'll look for it. I have not seen it.
It was just nuclear energy rather than computers. Daryl Hannah, League of Legals. The song was Rod Stewart's "Love Touch."
I kept trying to figure out where was Robert Redford after the 70s. I'm like, oh no, he's still in movies. I just never saw them. So yeah.
Hell, he even played. Didn't he play like the president or something in a Marvel movie recently, or some
before he died? Yeah, it was in. He was in Winter Soldier. He was.
That's what.
Not the president. He was a. He was a high up. He was the. One of the higher ups in Shield. That was what he was in that, I think.
Yeah.
Or he was a senator that was in favor. I don't remember. Anyway.
And the other thing was that this was. Deborah Winger and Daryl Hannah. This was still when I was in my, do I prefer blondes or brunettes era?
Yeah. But any good?
Out. It was a great movie. I loved it.
Okay.
It was fairly lighthearted drama. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Courtroom cases and whatnot. Big trial.
Yep. But it was more character focused. But yes, absolutely a good movie.
I tend to like trial stuff, so I might enjoy this actually. So yeah, okay, maybe I'll look for it. All right.
Absolutely.
Just was curious, but there's Robert Redford. I kept wondering where he went after the 70s. He probably just matured into older roles. That's probably what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. Of course, we did a stream on this one, but Karate Kid Part 2. Look at that.
Yep.
That's a great poster.
It really is. It really is. It's actually kind of brilliant. It says a lot in its composition, right? You've got the student learning the tradition from the master, and that it's very much evoked by that composite shot. I alluded to this film in my monologue because here's the other thing too. This was the era of you had both cable and physical media coming into their element at this era. And so they were very quick to get these things out. And there were different deals that were struck with the home movie, the video market and cable. There was licensure, but one was going to get it sooner than the other. Either way, they tried to push it as quickly as possible because they saw that as just more revenue for these movies. However well the Karate Kid 2 did in theaters, they were going to make buku more money off of VHS sales and off of licensure for cable. HBO or Showtime usually were the ones vying for the films. And that was premium cable. You got your basic cable, but you had to pay extra for a subscription to the movie channels.
Did you ever know anyone who had Showtime and HBO? You either had one or the other. I remember this because I
did for a period. I had HBO, Showtime, and Cinemax for a long stretch. And my mother justified it that because of the way they did their licensing and you had different films on different channels, HBO would have this movie, but Showtime would have that one. She could justify, look, there's only so many shows available for Brian to watch. My brother, who was special needs, she was trying to provide him with as many options as possible. Of course, getting Cinemax in there was great for your late night viewing teenager who wasn't supposed to be watching TV at the time.
I'm wondering what they had on Cinemax in the 80s now. A lot of that's probably lost media now.
Well, probably not, because if you consumed it the way I did, I couldn't stay up and watch it in the front room. So what I would do is I would put in a videotape and set it to record, and it would just record Skinamax all night, and then I'd watch it in privacy whenever I got a chance.
So in this movie, he goes up against the villainous Chozon, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, villainous... he was the villain of the movie, but... Well, not really. He was the secondary villain, because the primary villain would have been
the other student of Miyagi's father, right?
Yes. What was his name? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, damn. Hold
on.
Sato?
Maybe.
Was it Sato?
Yeah. Let me look that up. But no, it was. They had a nasty falling out. Him and Mr. Miyagi. I remember that.
It was some great lore, because you really have this very surface level type of lore in the first movie. It's all from the point of view of Daniel, his high school situation, the bullies, and so forth. And the Asian mystical,
Sato,
martial artist coming to help him out without a great deal of explanation about the backstory. It's just ancient, Japanese wisdom. Just go with it. But for the second movie, they really went into Japanese culture, and I feel in a way that was so respectful of the culture, in a way that, was very uncommon for the era, even uncommon today.
Yes.
In a brilliant way that just made people go, man, I want to learn more about Japanese culture. Not only that, but the history. Talking about a man who served in the U.S. military. Was it U.S. military?
U.S. military, yes.
Against
his own
Japan,
people. Yeah.
So there was that element of it. Losing his wife and daughter, in the fire bombings, that's just it's just brutal stuff. Well, and then now getting more into his whole personal backstory and having to return to Japan for a matter of honor, really. He's got his father's dying, and he needs to say his goodbyes, but that's also going to put him in a situation where he's got to face someone with this very conservative shogunate sort of sense of respect and honor that he doesn't want to address.
Mm-hmm. Well, he wanted to fight him to the death for the woman, and then Miyagi just left the country.
And he's like, I am not going to kill my best friend over a woman, is basically what it comes down to. My best friend, my brother. And he was willing to take on dishonor to protect everyone involved. And the outcome of that story is very interesting when he returns, and you get this redemption arc for Sato. He's, like I said, he was the villain, but he sees wisdom where he had kind of become fixated on rigid honor, but it became a matter of zeal without wisdom.
Yes.
And he started to see that it's not necessarily being a coward. It's engaging the wisdom, so to speak. And his son has yet to learn. Was it his son or his nephew?
Student, I thought, or was it nephew? Yeah, I don't know.
No, they were related.
Maybe it was his nephew. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think he refers to him as uncle. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he's making the same mistakes. He's but he's also not being as rigidly adherent to the precepts of honor. He's actually using the precepts of honor as a shield to do whatever he feels like, and be a ruffian tough guy. So it's even worse, and so he isn't open to the lessons of his uncle via Miyagi. That because what is it? Sato says, you are wrong. I was wrong. This is not the way. And then I'm dead to you, he says. Very, very, and it comes down to, okay, if you won't understand reason, then you'll understand strength, and that's when. A spoiler for a over 30-year-old film, but Daniel kicks his butt. And doesn't kill him.
No.
Because he's like, look, that's not what I do. Get over it, pal. And that leads into 30 years later,
Cobra
Kai revisits this storyline, and you realize that Chosen really did learn his lesson from that.
He's matured, yes.
But he's also got that mischievous thing.
Well, some of the personality is still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he starts another fight with Daniel. Daniel thinks he's dead, and he does the honk.
The honk.
He goes, see, I got you. And he's like, what the heck's going on? He goes, I learned my lesson. I owe you so much, and he's thanking him. He's like, you basically saved my life, and I did learn my lesson from you. And then they both realize Chosen now can return the favor and help Daniel, because there's knowledge that Daniel is lacking that Chosen has learned.
There's a lesson at the very beginning of this movie, too, when one Kreese shows up and takes Johnny Lawrence's second place trophy. He says, I got second place, and he breaks it in front of him.
You're a loser. You got second place. It's nothing. You're a loser.
And then, he's like, well, forget this. And then it looks like he's going to do some serious harm to Johnny there. And then Miyagi, because Miyagi doesn't want to step in. And he's like, okay, I got to step in because this.
There comes a point where it's like, okay, I can't, and which actually not only finishes the story from the previous movie. Right? You didn't even realize there was a hook there, and there is. So they resolve that final piece of storyline from the last movie, but at the same time, it front loads the fact that Mr. Miyagi is not a coward. That for him, violence is only the most remote last resort. And even then, he's not going to kill somebody. He's going to humiliate them and then walk away. And you see it play out again, with Sato and
I think it's like a foreshadowing. You're right. What is going to happen later on.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely what it is, which tells you got filmmakers here who know how to tell a good story.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like the art of foreshadowing has been completely lost. Mm-hmm. Either it's non-existent because they don't know how to do it, or they hit you over the head with it and you're like, oh, please. Good foreshadowing should be like this, where you're like, you suddenly in your mind at the end of the movie go back to the beginning. You're like, oh my gosh, they were broadcasting this and I never even, oh my gosh, this is, or you catch it on a rewatch or something like that. That's where it's brilliant, the subtlety of it. Also, another thing that was kind of a commentary on martial arts of the day. We had the 80s were the farther end of the whole Bruce Lee,
yes,
mythological, concepts behind martial arts and so forth. Believing all kinds of things that were and were not true. The whole I don't know, commercialization of martial arts, and there's this great scene where they first arrive in Okinawa at the airport and they see a poster for Sato. I guess he's something of a celebrity.
Yep.
And he is shown breaking a giant log using a karate chop. And Daniel looks at it and turns to Miyagi and goes, Mr. Miyagi, can you do that? And he looks at it and goes, don't know. Never been attacked by tree. Which is a great line and very funny. But again, it plays into that he only uses martial arts for defense and protection and for wisdom.
Not for showmanship.
Not ever for attack or for showmanship. Exactly. So I would never have tried to do that because I was never attacked by a tree. I only fight defensively, and yet there's a further payoff because later on in the movie, Sato is trapped by a tree that has fallen on him during a lightning storm. And Mr. Miyagi comes to help him, and he's still taunting him. He's still saying, oh, you have no honor. You come when I am unable to defend myself. Go ahead, take your vengeance or whatever. And he's clearly, shut up. And he does the chop in a, if you understand the physics behind it, a brilliant way. He breaks the log on the man's chest so that he can get the log off of him, putting all of the force right here into this log, not through the log into the man's chest. It's possible, but incredibly difficult.
And keep in mind, he's risking his life being out there to help him too. So
absolutely.
I think through this act of bravery and the fact that he saved his life, okay, we're even. Okay, we're gonna let the feud go. Okay,
exactly. It was both he and it was almost isn't even really any direct communication between Daniel and Miyagi. It's they both move to help. Daniel goes and saves a little girl who's in a pole trying to ring the bell to tell everyone to get to safety. Now she's trapped there. So he goes out to rescue her, right? And Miyagi goes to help Sato. And they all together get back to the shelter. It's incredible.
And in that scene, what's his name? Sato turns to his nephew or whoever he is and says, "You are a coward.
Yeah,
you're no longer family."
Because he said, my uncle is dead. There's nothing I can do, and doesn't matter. Miyagi still goes to help him, and he says, "Okay, now I am dead to you." And then he goes running off into the rain. Whatever. Great story. But what I wanted to get at was, again, this is. I know we're supposed to be talking about 86, but I can't talk about this without talking about Cobra Kai at this point. There's a great payoff to the little girl that Daniel rescues. There's a situation where Daniel is in a terrible business situation, and a Japanese businesswoman comes and rescues him, financially speaking. And he's like, why would you do this for me? And she says, do you remember a little girl that you rescued in Okinawa? Oh, yeah. And then he realizes it's her. I immediately went and looked. It's the same actress.
Yes.
I'm like, oh,
that's
God.
funny.
I mean, if you have not seen Cobra Kai, you are missing out. And you know what? They're all on DVD. I have them on my shelf. Go get them. You can get Netflix if you want, whatever. Get the DVDs.
Yes. They actually have a whole box set of the Blu-rays now, too. Yes. So,
there you go. We talked about that on Geeky Geese.
I don't want to spend too much more time on this, but I did want to mention the main theme song, Glory of Love by Peter Cetera.
Absolutely.
Another power ballad.
We did and this, couple this with the soundtrack from Top Gun this year.
Yep.
Those were big selling soundtracks. Honestly, I don't know that soundtracks even sell much these days. I don't think people really pay attention to soundtracks unless it's something like a Shrek or something that's got like, covers of different.
Because a lot of it's old songs. When they do have soundtracks, It's old songs, and it's fine, but they're not being made custom for movies.
This was both popular release songs made specifically for these movies, as well as incredible scores. And on some of these soundtracks, it weren't like, pop song heavy. They would have both the score and the soundtrack songs on one album.
Right.
And I bought I bought so many soundtrack albums. I probably bought more soundtrack albums in the 80s than I did, like VHS releases of the movies. About Last Night, Dirty Dancing, Footloose.
Footloose. Flashdance.
Flashdance, exactly. All of those. Check them out. But yeah, and we actually did on a previous last call, we talked about movie soundtracks and the synergy between them. How you would hear Peter Cetera over and over and over again on the radio, and then you'd watch the video for it on VH1, MTV, whatever, which was, of course, footage of Peter Cetera intercut with scenes from Karate Kid 2, and you'd be like, man, I want to see this movie now, if you hadn't already.
Yeah.
If you saw the movie, you're like, yeah, I want to get this soundtrack now.
There you go. Yeah, there was a lot of crossover between the music video.
Why are people still being paid for marketing? They're all failing in their jobs now.
Yeah.
You've all forgotten the lessons that you should have learned by now.
If they could just cut together a decent trailer. Don't know this one too well, but maybe you know of it. American Anthem.
No. I only know of it from my time working at the video store. I think we got a screener for it. We may have gotten one copy of it. I don't. Was this at all popular? Because I got.
It's a sports drama with Mitch Gaylord in it.
No knowledge on this.
I don't know. Columbia Pictures. Anyways, football.
Oh,
player.
There you go. That's probably why.
It's a football player turned gymnast seeks to join the United States Olympic team. I don't know. It was probably anyway. I'm sure he's shirtless a lot in this movie, so it was probably
I would
the
imagine
ladies were interested.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, moving on to, of course,
which I think most of the audience already knows. I did not see in the summer of '86. I actually didn't see it until many years later. Believe it or not.
You and I are the same way. But how did you miss this? Because was this an HBO regular?
It was, and you would think too that it would have been very much in my brother's wheelhouse with the
a lot of Muppets.
style.
Yeah, I thought he would have.
I think there were some scenes that were a little too intense for him, so we avoided it.
Okay,
and I think that's why I didn't.
David Bowie.
Yeah, I was also as a kid didn't appreciate David Bowie like I should have. I really, really should.
The Goblin King also does a lot of songs for the movie. Original songs he wrote for the movie, I believe. This was a big co-production between him and Jim Henson. And, of course, the lovely young Jennifer Connelly there was in this as well.
And that's the other thing. I obviously, loved Jennifer Connelly and probably would have enjoyed this movie very much at that age. Another movie that would have helped me through puberty, I think. But...
she wasn't. How can I put this? I don't want to. Well, of course,
she was age appropriate for me at the time.
That's what I'm saying too. That's what I'm saying too. Yeah, and she looks nice in that dress there. I don't know. Actually, how old was she in this? I think 16. Is that when she
was young? Yeah, and it was very, very uncomfortable for. Well, I would like to believe it was uncomfortable for David Bowie, but it was uncomfortable for anyone seeing her and David Bowie in scenes together. Let's just say that.
Well, it's this is an interesting movie. I'll say that. This is because did we do the Dark Crystal for Good Old Days a little while back?
Might have
was
done.
it Never Ending Story? I know we did Never Ending Story. I kind of throw this in with those. It's one of those.
It definitely
movies, one of these 80s.
is in that wheelhouse of Henson,
80s fantasies for kids, yes.
80s fantasies, yeah, exactly.
Which, of course, are always kind of dark. There's this funny scene where she runs into this fox knight, and he's saying, stand back, you cannot cross this bridge unless you ask my permission. And then she finally says, okay, well, may we have your permission? And he goes, no one's ever asked me. Yes? And then,
yes,
thank you. And then he just walk across, and he ends.
And I'll tell you, that's the kind of gag that you'd always. that would be perfect in a Dungeons and Dragons game, right? Because you have your players that always assume everything is a combat situation. And then if you may not cross without my express permission. How do I get your permission? Can I just ask for it? Would you be willing to allow us? Oh yeah. Well, I mean, how does one get one's permission except one asks? Why would I say no? Yes, you may. That would be an experience point bonus for avoiding the combat scenario.
Yeah, which would be better. If you can avoid combat, that's probably better. But this was interesting in the fact that it starts out she's a teenager. She has to babysit her I guess her half brother because she has a stepmom now. I guess her original mother. They didn't explain if they thought she died, but her father remarried, and she says, "Look," the stepmother's like, "Look, I only need you to watch the baby. If you have other plans, let me know. We'll make other arrangements." And she's like, "Oh, you just don't care about me." And it's like, I'm listening to the stepmom, and I'm like, it sounds like she's being rather reasonable. I think you're just being kind of a brat. That's what I'm hearing in this conversation.
Yeah, it really was.
And then she's angry that they gave one of her teddy bears, I guess that are named after the Knights of the Round Table, to her little baby brother, and Lancelot, and and then she's quoting from some book she's reading called The Labyrinth, and it's like say the words, and it's like, Goblin King Goblin, take this child far away from me, and of course that's not the thing that sends her away, but like
which is very interesting because it really does play into real fairy mythology. Yeah. And the role of the Fae in, the whole concept of the changeling and so forth. So
anyway, when she does finally say the right words, she goes back to the room, and then the baby's no longer crying. She goes back, the baby's not there, and there are all these creatures, these goblins. And then Jareth, the Goblin King, shows up and says, "I'll give you this nice crystal that you can see your dreams. It's a proper toy for not a proper gift for a girl who doesn't care about screaming children." But at that point she's like, "No, I have to get my baby brother back. I appreciate you doing, but you please just give me my brother back, okay?" And he's like, and I guess he makes the thing, if you can make it to the labyrinth and get him in the middle of the castle, then you can
and there was a time limit or something like
a time limit, and if she doesn't get to him in time, he'll become another goblin, the baby brother. She actually does feel bad once it happens.
In fact, it's implied that Jareth is a foundling, like her little brother. That
would make sense. That would make sense actually, because that's why he looks so human, and he has magical powers. The labyrinth is weird though, because she runs into weird creatures like the glowworm that says, "No, go that way." "Which way?" "Go that way." "Okay." And then she goes that way. "Thanks." And he says, if she'd gone the other way, she would have went right to the castle. I can imagine kids in the audience were like slapping their forehead.
Yeah.
And then you have Hoggle, which I don't know who played Hoggle. I keep thinking it was probably a dwarf actor, but I kept thinking it was going to be the guy who played Willow, but it wasn't. But
I'll tell you what, though, I saw a video that someone did of the Hoggle.
It's like an animatronic
costume
suit
or whatever.
Yes,
yeah. Was found, and it's well, just keep in mind that foam rubber has a very short life.
Oh no.
So it was nightmare fuel. It was nightmare fuel. Seeing it, it's kind of a shame.
Well, good. It'll one day be in the Poohverse then. Okay. Anyway.
Oh God, possibly, yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it felt more like Five Nights at Freddy's, but yes.
Labyrinth is already kind of disturbing though. There's this funny scene when she's in the underground, like, "Go back, your horrible fate awaits you." These statues keep saying, and he's like, "Oh, they're all just saying stuff." And like she says, "Okay," and it's like, "No, please let me at least say it." "Okay, go ahead and say it." Your fate will be terrible if you walk." Like he's saying that, like the statues are warning her. It's kind of a lark in some scenes, like it's a fantasy world, but it's not following by the traditional rules. Sort of like Alice in Wonderland, So it's, I don't know, it's worth checking out.
I'll bet there's a bit of inspiration there too, no doubt about it. Yeah.
I mean, I have to give Jim Henson credit. The man had an imagination. So.
Oh yeah, no doubt, absolutely.
I think George Lucas might have been involved in this too, as I recall, in some capacity.
Well, good. He was involved with it and didn't ruin it. That's great.
Okay. Anyway, I haven't seen this, but oddly enough, I have the DVD. It's Running Scared, Gregory
Yeah.
Hines and Billy Crystal, a buddy cop movie. Have you seen this?
Yep. Yes, I
Is it
have.
good?
Yes, I have.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
Chicago area again, I think. Yeah.
That part of it I don't even remember. Yeah, I think it was. And I was a
Yeah,
huge
two of
fan.
Chicago's best, it says. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I was a huge fan of Gregory Hines at the time. It doesn't do a lot of dancing in this movie, but
He's
he
good
was a great
I've seen him
dancer.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good. I don't know what I can say about it. You can't have Billy Crystal and not have it be funny, but Gregory Hines had the humor chops too. So I mean, but don't get me wrong, it wasn't a comedy. You know, it was.
It's a buddy
I guess
cop
you'd call
movie
it a dramatic comedy or stuff.
like Beverly
yeah.
Hills Cop. That's
That's a
right? Yeah,
great
yeah,
analogy.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's that kind of a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
You know, it's not off the wall, but lots of great.
or Red
lines.
Heat, something like that.
Yeah,
Something like that.
exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. I will need to watch this. Like I said, some of the times these streams I find movies that I need to watch, and this is probably one of them.
Yep.
He's wearing a Cub shirt. Look at that.
Yeah, well, there's the problem right there.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. I'm within throwing distance.
Ruthless People.
Oh, this is a great one. Oh, yep. Helen Slater.
I've
Helen
never
Slater.
seen this.
Really? You should.
I
You'd
need
like
to
it.
watch it. It's one of these movies that was so talked about back in the day. Danny DeVito and who is it? Bette Midler.
Bette Midler.
Are they
Yeah.
married and they're fighting each other?
Yeah,
or
so
something in this?
here's the basic story here. Danny DeVito's a rich guy. He's got a rich wife,
Yeah.
whatever. And Judge Reinhold and Helen Slater are a couple that are a little bit desperate. They're not really what you'd consider criminal types, but they're desperate enough to try a criminal act, so
Right.
they kidnap Bette Midler to hold for ransom. The problem is that Danny DeVito doesn't want her back. He's like, "Oh, this is the best thing that can happen to me. Yeah, go ahead. If you don't give us the ransom, we're gonna kill her. Okay, kill her. That's fine. Do it. We're gonna do it. Really? Okay, I dare you to kill her. That ought to do it."
Was this done by the same people that did Throw Mama from the Train? Because I'm
I
getting a
wouldn't be
similar
surprised.
vibe.
It's that
Yes.
kind of a comedy.
Oh.
Yeah. And so when Bette Midler gets wind that this is happening, she's pissed and she starts kind of working with Helen Slater and Judge Reinhold to try and screw over Danny DeVito. This one is a screwball comedy type of movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put it on my to watch list. I should watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Helen Slater alone. That's
Well,
another reason.
right, exactly.
Perfect Supergirl casting.
I was just gonna say, better to watch her than this upcoming Supergirl movie. Screw that one. We did a whole Good Old Days and rewatch on my channel
about
talking
last night.
About last
Jim
night.
Belushi. Look at that.
Another Chicago movie based on a book called Sexual Perversity in Chicago.
At this point, we don't know.
So was she a professional? Well, at this point, we don't know. So was she a professional? Professional is how one thinks of oneself. Great
Yes.
lines from this movie. Elizabeth Perkins, Jim Belushi, Rob Lowe, and Demi Moore. Great movie. Unfortunately, everything I'm going to say, we've already said in past streams talking about this movie. You guys know how much I love this movie. You guys know how much I love the soundtrack from this movie. And I love the fact that there is I believe it was they were trying to decide between like PG-13 R rating on this movie. It was never going to get a PG rating. It was
Right.
PG or R. So there are some scenes that were clearly shot, one for R, one for PG-13. And those edits both exist. One was used as a TV edit for the film.
Or an airplane edit.
Or an airplane edit, exactly. because there's a great, like, midpoint of the movie, beautiful romantic song by what's his name, the Silver Bullet Band.
Bob Seger.
Bob Seger, right?
Seger,
Bob
yeah.
Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. "Living Inside My Heart," beautiful romantic song, over a montage of the main couple moving in together, unpacking and so forth. That's interspersed with them getting a little busy,
Okay.
and in that very 80s, somewhat graphic, getting a few peaks there kind of thing. In the edit version, they just edit those scenes out.
I see.
And speed up the song slightly.
What?
Which, yeah, it's very interesting. However, as the song ends and they've finished, they go to raid the refrigerator, and in the original release, they're both buck-ass naked, full frontal Demi Moore, right? Whereas in the and this clearly was not CG or anything like this. They had to film it separately. She's wearing his shirt, and he's wearing briefs. That's the difference.
The difference. I gotcha.
Yeah, and doesn't hurt the narrative at all, because it's still a beautiful, well-intentioned scene. Lots of great Chicago settings. Jim Belushi and Rob Lowe's characters work together at a company that sells widgets, and he's their salesman, and on the weekends they go and they play baseball or softball. I'm not sure which, in like a league kind of thing. Softball, and that's how they end up meeting Demi Moore's character. What was I going to say about this? Anyway, great soundtrack. Like I said, Bob Seger. Daryl Hall has a song on there. Jermaine Jackson. All songs that, if they were released previously or on other albums, I don't know that. I only knew them from this. Some really, really good songs worth checking out for that. And the main pub that they go to is a place called Mother's, which is on, is that State Street or is?
Street.
Yeah, it's on State Street, and where all the pubs are. At the time, it was across the street from the Alumni Club. And when Netta and I were dating, we mostly went to the Alumni Club, but we went to Mother's a time or two. So I was able to say, hey, yeah, I went there, So.
Cool.
Great movie. Definitely recommend it.
All right.
This one's a classic. We don't. Well, let me move, because.
So we have Big Trouble in Little China coming out the same summer as Big Trouble.
That's true. That is absolutely true. Actually, I don't have to move myself all the way down. I could just right about there. That's good.
Okay. Kim Cattrall.
Of course.
Kurt Russell. A lot of
Kurt
actors
Russell,
in this. Okay.
very, very funny. I have to wonder if there wasn't a great deal of improv on Kurt Russell's part, because some of it's just ridiculously funny. I'm forgetting the actor who plays the villain. He's very famous.
We did a not an in remembrance, like, you're still alive, dude.
Still around.
Hold on, I'll get his name.
And he has in various media.
James
videos.
Hahn.
Thank you. Yeah, and I know there's people in the chat right now. James Hahn. Yeah. He's revisited this role a number of times in parodies and in music videos and all sorts of things. He's one of those guys that just he loves the fans, and doesn't take any role he's played too seriously. Always has love for anyone who loves what he's done. So good stuff.
And Dennis Dung as Wang Chi, Jack's friend and restaurant owner whose fiance is kidnapped by Lo Pan. So John Carpenter made a point that he wanted to make a movie where the hero acted like the sidekick and the sidekick acted like the hero.
I like that, and that is very true. That really is what it is.
Because Jack Burton is kind of fumbling through most of this movie until the very end when he actually does take out Lo Pan, which I thought was interesting. I did not see that coming. But he has a love interest though, the lovely Kim Cattrall as Tracy Law. And Lo.
And she doesn't even have to sing "Anything Goes" in Mandarin either.
Not Kim Cattrall.
I know. I'm making a joke. I'm making a joke to Kate Capshaw.
Kate Capshaw. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. Okay, that threw me off, dude. Because then I was thinking, did I say Kate Capshaw? Kate Capshaw could have been in this.
No, it wasn't you. I was just drawing a comparison in themes here is all.
Kim Cattrall and Kate Capshaw. Now I'm lining them up together in my head. Okay, never mind.
Were they ever in a movie together?
I don't know, but I could see them. I don't know. They're kind of similar in some ways. Anyway, though, we have this was just a lot of fun. This is it
was a fun movie, absolutely. If this one isn't on Tubi, I'd be surprised. It should be.
I think this might have been many a young American man's introduction to Chinese mythology. How accurate it is, I don't know, but it doesn't
probably
matter.
Not very. Probably not very.
But they're talking about all the different Chinese hells or something that you'll get sent to, like you'll be sent to the hell where you'll be skinned alive, and it's like China's got a lot of hells. Okay, you get sent to, and then there's that horrible monster, the ape-like creature that shows up at the end and just.
This really does border on fantasy. I mean, well, it kind of is a fantasy film, but
it has
that's
the greatest
not the big part of it.
It has the greatest precursor, because you have Victor Wong as Egg Chen, and he's being interviewed at the beginning of the movie about saying how you half a city block destroyed, green flames coming out everywhere, green flames, and he says, "Do you have and then he says, "Do you believe in sorcery and ghosts and black magic?" Oh yes, remember he's like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, how can you believe in such things? Then he holds his two hands up, and then lightning comes out of them. It's like, there's the 80s lightning again. Okay, right there. Yes.
Yep.
And he says it starts out small. And what I like about this is this movie basically tells you in the audience, no, you're going to see all this weird stuff, and it's all real. Okay, we're not going to make any illusions.
Just go with it. Just go with it. Yeah.
And all Jack Burton wants back, though, is his truck. Remember? That's why he's after it. The one guy wants his fiancée back, and he wants his truck back. So they're just I don't know. It was a fun John Carpenter movie. Caught it on cable like everybody else because I don't think I saw this in the theater. Did you?
I don't recall. This is the kind of movie that I would have gone to see with the guys. Mm-hmm. I might have done. But I saw it so many times on cable that it kind of blends together.
Okay. Got the Blu-ray of this, though. It's a nice Blu-ray. It's not the Shot Factory one. It's the one that came out before the Shot Factory one.
Gotcha.
I remember this is one of my earlier DVDs when this came out in a special edition. I'm like, yeah, I'm picking this up. It's like that.
I don't blame you.
But then the DVD cracked, and then I saw, well, there's a Blu-ray. I'll just replace it with the Blu-ray. So, yeah. Moving on to The Great Mouse Detective. So, of course, we are still in what I call the dark age of Disney.
Oh my gosh, I thought this was a much older film. I didn't realize this was from 86.
No, I saw this in the theater when it came out back in 86 because I was, of course, still of the age where I should be going to the theater and seeing Disney movies, except I was getting stuff like The Black Cauldron, Oliver and Company. That was another one I saw in the theater. And then there's The Great Mouse Detective. But I was looking forward to this one because this is based on a book series called Basil of Baker Street, where it's basically Sherlock Holmes, but in mouse form, right?
Yep.
Yes,
exactly.
And it's like all the stuff that's going on with Sherlock Holmes is sort of being mirrored in the rodent community, basically, right?
Exactly right.
Radigan, who is our main villain, I believe is voiced by Vincent Price in this movie, who's basically the stand-in for Moriarty.
Right?
Yes. So it was fun. I remember thinking it was a fun cartoon movie. I don't know why it didn't do better. Was it up against The Land Before Time or something? I don't know. It's just...
That's an excellent point because you did have the whole Walt Disney, versus Don Bluth, and Don Bluth. Oh, I'm so glad Don Bluth left Walt Disney and started his own studio. I wish. I wish he had appropriate backing, but.
Why did this movie fail? Because I would have put a Don Bluth movie on here if I'd seen it on the list. So I don't know why. It's just it's a good Disney movie. I don't care what people say. If
I honestly don't remember it really well, and I'll have to revisit it because you know what a Sherlock Holmes.
It's a Sherlock Holmes.
What a Sherlock Holmes fan I am, but at the time, it was just. I was a little.
You were too old. Yes. Well, that's what it was. Like before it became in vogue that you could still watch cartoons. Y'all kids out there don't understand that back in the day, if you wanted to watch cartoons at a certain age, you had to do it in secret because your society would look at you funny.
Right.
Why are you watching that kid stuff? What's wrong with you? And it's like, okay, let me just. But I was 9, I think, when this came out, so I was still of the age to go see movies like this, and I thought it was good. I was a big Vincent Price fan, so I liked seeing him as villain. I think he has a song in this movie too. I think he does have I think Radigan has a singing number in this.
Interesting.
So yeah, I don't know. I remember it not being bad. Maybe I'll have to rewatch it. I have the DVD somewhere. I just haven't gotten around to rewatching it. Psycho 3. I have a confession. I like Psycho 2 and 3. I know at the time people were like, how dare you try to make a sequel to a Hitchcock movie. Classic, revered, and you're going to do a sequel. I don't care. I like them. I like Psycho 2.
I did too. I literally have all of the Psycho films on DVD.
4 is... It's all right. I like who they got playing his mom, but that's just...
Yeah.
But this one, Psycho 3, is fascinating because there's a wonderful scene. Let me look up who's in Psycho 3 because the one who played the pilot on Lost, who ended up being in a lot of Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez movies later on in his life. But Psycho 3, if you remember Psycho 2, it ends with Norman's real mother coming out of the picture because apparently he was adopted. He said, "Oh, I'm your real mom," and then he gets the shovel and whacks her in the back of the head. Apparently, when my dad saw that scene, he laughed out loud when Norman kills his real birth mother and then sticks her in the rocker and does the taxidermy stuff because he needs a mom for the split personality.
Right. Exactly.
But there's a wonderful scene in this where he, what is it? You have Jeff Fahey as Dwayne Duke, who's this drifter guy that comes by, and he realizes what's up with Norman keeping his mom, and he almost gets found out, but someone stole the body from the house, and then he finds out, this drifter guy says, "Listen, you don't pay me up some money, the whole world is going to learn about Mama." And Norman snaps and just starts wailing and kills this guy. And he says, "No one must know about her or what she's done." And it was then that I realized something. Norman has a split personality, and the mother personality is evil. But you know what? Norman himself is also kind of evil, too.
Yes.
That's what did dawn on me with that first movie.
Absolutely, yeah.
You also have that bit with the nun that leaves the convent. I remember that, which they said was kind of they were kind of homaging Vertigo in that beginning of the movie. With I think there was a nun at the end of Vertigo, so they were doing that, and I guess she loses her faith, but then then she tries taking her life, but then sees Norman dress as mom and thinks it's an angel or the Virgin Mary or something. I don't know. It's just it's a whacked out movie. I enjoyed it. I think 2's a little better, but I think this is still pretty good. And here's why you treat these movies. I treat these sequels to Psycho as what ifs, okay?
Yeah.
Like this is a possible, so you don't have to treat it as this is what happened. It's like a yarn someone tells, maybe this is the sequel, or it doesn't have to be. It's like with Ash versus the Evil Dead. I like Ash versus the Evil Dead, but I sort of treat that as a apocryphal sequel. Like this is what could have happened as a sequel, And then there's sequels that happen, which I don't even give them that much credit, as we know with Star Wars and other things.
I would also suggest to people, not only, Psycho 1, 2, 3, arguably 4, check out the movie from it was a TV movie called Bates Motel.
That's right.
With Bud Cort. Very, Yeah, there's another what if there. That's all I'm going to say there.
All right. Well, I'm kind of curious now. Okay.
Worth checking out.
Bates
Not to be
Motel.
confused with the TV series with Fremo, what's her name, playing Mother, Bates Motel.
Vera Farmiga.
Vera Farmiga, yeah, that's what it was.
I really like Bates Motel. I think it sort of fumbled at the end, though. But there was a lot of good stuff in the beginning of that show because I liked how Vera Farmiga could be this attractive woman, but then she also had her own psychotic side on the show.
Yep.
And I realized that whole town Bates Motel was based on all the other stuff going in town. Some of the stuff in there was reminding me of other things I'd seen on shows like Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I'm like, well, this is just a Hitchcock world in this town.
It is. It's exactly right. It got the feel perfectly.
Like the underground drug trade and some of these other shady characters on the show besides Norman Bates. It was reminding me of that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it all right. But good old Tony Perkins. And, of course, yes, here we go. I'm going to let you feel this one.
I love this. Talk about a soundtrack movie. Absolutely. So this was the film vehicle for Prince's album Parade. There is no separating the album from the movie. And it tells a very... It's hard to explain. It's kind of a neo-noir type of film. It's set in the modern day, but with
black and white
Art Deco, but black and white with Art Deco sensibilities to it. Very, very interesting.
Look at this poster.
It is.
That's a nice poster, but it's like kind of a retro style poster. Something you might have seen in like the 40s or the 30s. Right?
Exactly right. Yeah. That's exactly what it's going to evoke, and if you think about it, it's not in any way a sequel or related to, but it's got the same kind of feel as like Purple Rain or Graffiti Bridge or whatever, where you've got Prince playing the main character. In this particular one, a character by the name of Christopher Tracy. It brings back some of his standbys in supporting roles, different supporting roles, and I'm trying to remember. I think Parade was still with the Revolution, right? So the members of the Revolution were also supporting cast. Excellent soundtrack, excellent videos, great movie. We did a rewatch of that on my channel as well. You guys know I'm a huge Prince fan. I loved every song off the soundtrack, but in hindsight, after Prince's death, I think the song that probably stands out the best and is probably the most haunting is Sometimes It Snows in April. It's a song told from the point of view of another alternate character of Prince's, singing about Christopher Tracy having died and missing his friend. And then Prince dies in April. So talk about life imitating art. What is the refrain line? Sometimes it snows in April. Sometimes it feels so bad. Sometimes I wish life was never ending. But all good things, they say, never last. Prince was a genius. He absolutely was. When they refer to him as the artist, that's how he should be remembered, as an artist. And I think that his films are very underrated. They're not great, but there is something great about them. And they are absolutely worth your time. You should check them out.
Well, that's enough.
Yeah.
And Kristen Scott Thomas is in this, right?
Yep. Oh, I could do a whole stream just about this movie, so we probably should.
We did once though.
We did.
We
We
did a
kinda
rewatch.
did.
We did a rewatch, but I knew I had to put. I saw. Oh, we got to put this on here. That's
Yes.
a great poster. That'd be a great thing to
It
have up in
is.
your
It
lobby or something.
absolutely is. Yeah. In fact, now I want to digitize it and put it into Fallout 4, so I could put it in my Silver Shroud headquarters.
Like a nightclub. I could see this poster up in a
Yeah.
nightclub.
Oh yeah.
I don't know much about this Howling 2. I heard it's not good.
It's from a certain point of view, it's not good, yes. But in that way that 80s B horror films is not good and you still love them.
Okay.
It is
You have Christopher Lee.
it is yes, which also kind of lends to the strangeness of this movie. And also, if you are looking for good continuity with the first movie, don't. It's probably best that you don't. Yeah, there's actually other Howling movies that have been done. I have them all because I am a masochist, and
There's diminishing returns in the series, isn't there?
well, kind of, but at the same time, if you like this kind of movie, you're still gonna like it. It's a werewolf movie. It's a budget werewolf movie. Still check it out. It's still worth it.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. There's probably not much more I can say about this. Oh, Club Paradise.
I've
Yes.
never seen this. This is a comedy, right?
It absolutely is a comedy. It's a lot of fun.
Let me find out the cast. Is that Club Paradise? Harold Ramis made it.
Yep. Robin Williams, Rick Moranis.
Peter O'Toole.
You'd be surprised. Yes.
Twiggy?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Joanna Cassidy. All right. It's got some
And
actors in here.
I just looked, and apparently it is currently on Tubi. You can check it out for free.
Everything's on Tubi, it seems. Okay, so Club Paradise worth checking out. Anything left to say about it before we move on?
Yeah, well, the main character is from Chicago, so I mean that's another endorsement from me. Yeah, check this one out. It's fun. It's
Chicago
fun.
was big in '80s movies. I'm telling you, it's like one
That's
of the epicenters
because
of the United States.
under the Daley's mayoralship, the taxes were incentives to get movies made in the Chicago area and employ people in the Chicagoland area, and we've drifted from hardline liberal machine politics to ridiculous deconstructive neo-Marxist communist regimes in Chicago, still running the same basic machine. So that's what's destroying all of the infrastructure of Chicago right now. That's why the Chicago Bears are leaving Chicago. You know?
Where are they going?
They're going to Indiana.
Oh,
They may actually be in South Chicago, Indiana, so they could... Well, I mean, they can still call themselves the Chicago Bears, whatever state they're in. But technically, they'd still be in Chicago if they were in South Chicago. Or is it East Chicago? East Chicago. My apologies. East Chicago.
Miracle, 1986. Miracles, 1986 American comedy about a newly divorced couple. I think Terry Garr is in this, and Paul Rodriguez, Christopher Lloyd, and Tom Conti. Ever see it?
I don't think so. I'm guessing that the plot here is they're a couple that's getting divorced, but because they find themselves in a survival situation, they end up rebonding or something like that.
I assume that's what this is about.
Yeah, never saw it.
Oh man, I hope they don't have Christopher Lloyd playing a witch doctor, please. No.
Oh gosh.
Or some guy that was crashed on the island 50 years ago and has been there ever since.
That one actually makes perfect sense. And then I mentioned this one in the monologue, Aliens, the perfect follow up to the first Alien movies, where the first movie was a horror movie. This was definitely your action adventure follow-up.
Would you like the moniker? This time it's war.
Yeah. And in fact, I draw a strong correlation between Alien and Aliens with Terminators 1 and 2. Terminator 1 was definitely a horror sci-fi film where the female character is stay alive, just survive to the end of the movie, victim, and then comes back as the fighter hero character in the second movie. Well, that's exactly what Ripley is in this movie as well. But of course, we never had strong women before what's her name?
Sigourney Weaver.
No. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence was the first female action hero, because none of these women ever existed before her.
Yes, I remember that when she said that. Question though, this version, I'm now more familiar with the director's cut now. Director's cut slightly different.
I have never paid close enough attention to do a comparison. I'll have to do that sometime.
The part where Ripley was trying to come home she was expecting to see her daughter when she came back, and she was drifting out in space for like 80 years, and it turns out, no, her daughter's grown old and died. No, she had no children of herself, so basically she has no family left, and she's like, I was coming home to celebrate her 8th birthday, and the tragic was she didn't get back in time because her ship was stuck out in space.
Yeah.
And now she doesn't have a daughter, so in a way we knew it like a surrogate daughter was her parent,
which was the character of Newt, who's her, and it plays back to the first movie. She is kind of hiding and trying to stay safe, but she's much younger. She's a child, and really needs somebody to help her out. And this is, like you said, someone who sees herself and what she had gone through, but also the daughter she's missing. So yeah, that definitely brings another dimension to the story. Although I think at the same time that makes Aliens 3 so much more tragic that we ended up getting that POS film when it could have been so much better.
Yeah, we heard on Alien. I don't count Alien 3. We would have gotten a proper follow-up if Ridley Scott hadn't interfered. Did you hear about this? The guy that made District 9 wanted to do a Alien sequel that didn't count Alien 3.
Yeah. And
it was going to have Hicks, Newt, and
And I've seen some of the artwork for it, preliminary artwork, and I was like, this would have been a great movie. They blew it. They just absolutely blew it. And I'm starting to see this being a recurring theme, whether it's George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, what's his name, Cameron, Ridley Scott, all of these people. It's like you guys need to retire. You need to retire and license these things out to the young guys that are doing the work that you did 40 years ago. You're done. Stop. Just stop.
I loved Bill Paxton's character Hudson in this, though. Remember the
over, man, it's game over. Guy? Yeah.
Tough auto marine, and the shit hits the fan. He completely collapses, and it's like, remember, this little girl survived for 3 months without any assistance. Okay, against these things, like, why don't you put her in charge?
Wasn't there an actress who was both in this and Terminator 2? She played one of the Marines, or am I confusing two women? Boomer, did we lose you because you were breaking up on us? I think we just lost Boomer. Anyway.
Well, the little girl did know all the ins and outs and what to look for and how to hide.
Absolutely. Let me look up Aliens.
So I would have looked to her guidance to get everybody through.
Let's see. The film was Aliens. Who was the actress? Well, let's see. Cast. Rick Rod, Al Matthews. Oh, I forgot Paul Reiser was in this too. He was the Weyland-Yutani rep jerk. He was, oh gosh, absolutely.
I'm back.
Yeah, you were breaking up, so I wasn't surprised when we lost you.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, great movie. I feel like we should have gotten a better film for the follow up. And you're right, I ignore the third movie from canon completely.
It's not good.
And honestly, I never really got back into Aliens after that because of it. So I've read the comics and all the extraneous stuff, Alien versus Predator, that kind of stuff, but was never the fan that I was after the second movie.
I heard the comics were well done, though. People said good things about the comics. Yeah.
Yep, which is exactly why we got the Alien versus Predator franchise, because we never would have otherwise. You know.
All right, but Aliens, but let's be blunt. This kind of brought the Space Marines thing to the front in science
absolutely,
fiction too.
Absolutely
So, yeah,
right.
Classic movie, well worth a rewatch. Vamp. I like this movie.
I like it okay, but it wasn't.
Oh, that's it. I like it okay. There we go.
Yeah,
that's good enough. I know it's not the Lost Boys. It's not even Fright Night, but it's not bad for what it is. Okay,
yeah.
Yeah. You don't get Robert Downey Jr. You get that other guy who I think looks like Robert Downey Jr. but would always be. You have Grace Jones as the main vampire in this. Remember?
Yes, absolutely.
You had the guy that played Long Duck Don from 16 Candles. He shows up in this, right?
Right.
I think he gets eaten at some point. Yeah, but it's.
Right. It was Chris Makepeace.
Yeah.
Sandy Barron as Vic.
Yes.
Robert Russler was AJ. Dee
Jones,
Pfeiffer, Allison Amaretto. Oh, right. I forgot about that character. Right.
Okay. If you need an '80s vampire movie and you've seen them all but haven't seen this will fit the bill. Is it as good as those? No, but it's still pretty good. I enjoyed it. I'll say that. Okay. I know it's not of the same caliber as the Lost Boys, but it's not bad. And I like seeing Grace Jones as a vampire. I don't know. I thought that worked. So, okay, but have you seen this? You've seen this, right? Yeah.
Of course I have. Yeah.
College students, they're going on they go to a whole town that's run by vampires, basically, right? And when dusk happens, that's when all hell breaks loose, right? So,
and this one isn't on Tubi, but it's on Zumo for free.
Zumo, okay.
Zumo, right. So you can. I remember Chris Makepeace, so yeah.
You're not bad. It's all right.
But
there are worse ways to spend your evening. I've not seen this, but maybe you're familiar. Haunted Honeymoon.
Oh well, look who's in it: Gene Wilder, Gilda Radner, and Dom DeLuise. That's all you really need to know. And yeah, this is one of those haunted house, comedies, is what it really is.
Okay.
Is
it funny?
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And you got the feel of like a Rocky Horror Picture Show without, all the music and stuff. It makes you think a little bit of Young Frankenstein, that kind of thing. Definitely funny. Oh gosh, do yourself a favor, check it out. Okay. It's definitely worth checking out.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those ones I remember loving and then I get kind of forgotten about,
Heartburn with Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
It wasn't my thing at the time. I might enjoy it more if I were to revisit it
as an adult. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's got Jack's in it. That's why I put it up here.
Yeah.
Whatever Jack was up to. Because the thing is, we're now well into the 80s, and of course the big stars of the 70s were guys like Jack Nicholson, Robert Redford. What are they doing? Well, they're in movies like this.
Yeah.
During the 80s. Yeah. So there we go.
Exactly.
Maximum Overdrive. I don't think we have to spend too much time on this.
So this is a Stephen King vehicle, and I use that pun intentionally.
Oh, he directed this too. Oh no.
Yeah. It was a weak story to begin with. Was this based on a short story? Because I can't imagine this being a whole novel.
He in his book on writing the memoir, when he's telling you how to write, and he says, and look, if you're writing a stinker, we all do it. I did Maximum Overdrive. He basically admits this wasn't
good. He recognizes it himself. I feel like if you haven't seen this movie and don't know what it's about, I feel like M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening was inspired by this. Both stupid movies with a stupid premise, but I guess it was kind of fun to see Marvel's Green Goblin on the face of a tractor trailer, barreling down on you. But it could have just as easily been a thriller about a crazy guy in a truck killing people instead of freaking machines coming to life and trying to kill people.
Yeah, but
trucks driving around by themselves, vending machines shooting soda cans at you to kill you.
Yes.
I mean, it's just ridiculous bull crap.
Well, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't at all.
Like, are they possessed by ghosts or something? They explain why they're doing this?
If they had said that, at least you'd have, as stupid as it would be, at least it would have been nothing. It was space radiation that made machines come to life somehow.
There was a found footage movie made in Spain called REC. Okay, and it was a big deal at the time. And I'd watched the American remake called, I think, Contamination or something. It was something along those lines, right? And in the American version, it's about this guy in his spare time, some weirdo in this apartment complex. So you find out he had made this horribly virulent form of rabies that turns people into raving lunatics and attacking each other. In the Spanish version, it's a demonically possessed virus. That's why the Vatican or a priest is involved in trying to stop this. And I thought about this for a second. A demonically possessed virus. And I thought, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I know REC fans are going to yell at me, but I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Just like this doesn't make sense with the machines.
But honestly,
maybe they're demonically possessed soda machines. There you go.
I was going to say I could honestly get behind demonically possessed bacteria virus.
You might enjoy the movie then. Okay, I don't know, but it's.
I could buy that because at least it's an explanation. Stupid as it is, it's an explanation. You get nothing here. There's nothing. Okay. It's a fever dream. Just, and it's like, no, it's not good enough for me to.
But that was the Green Goblin. I thought it was. I thought that looks like the Green Goblin. Okay.
It absolutely was. I don't know what the connection was there. They don't even draw a connection to the comic book. It's like, why are you even doing that? It makes no sense at all.
You're just making the Spider-Man fans that want a Spider-Man movie already. Because trust me, people were chomping at the bit for a Spider-Man movie in the 80s.
Yes,
and
that's probably, honestly, I think every person that went to see this movie was hoping for a good Stephen King movie and was disappointed. Saw the Green Goblin and was like, it's the closest I'm going to get to a Spider-Man movie. I'm going to go see it,
Don't know what this is, Out of Bounds, but I think I have to watch this. Anthony Michael Hall? Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Is this like a spy espionage type of movie?
Kind of, yes.
Okay, I'm going to look for this. This is on my list to watch.
Teenage kid getting involved in things above his head. Yeah,
I'm getting a vibe, Cloak and Dagger vibe. Remember that Cloak and Dagger movie? Is that what this is like? Okay.
And I love the tagline here. 18 years as an Iowa farm, on an Iowa farm never prepared him for summer in L.A. Yeah.
I need to check this out. This looks like a winner. It looks like a movie I missed. Okay. So we're checking out? Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. John Lithgow show up at some point? No, I don't know.
That could be.
It's like the villain.
That was the thing about John Lithgow. He could be in a comedy or he could be, really serious.
Didn't see this, but I thought Tom Hanks, Jackie Gleason, nothing in common.
No. It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. I saw this one with my grandparents that summer. I think I've mentioned I used to spend my summers in Ohio at my uncle's marina. And on Wednesdays, my grandparents had the day off from the marina. And I would go with them. I'd go in the morning with my grandmother she had a hair appointment. And she would buy me a sweet roll and a comic book. That's what got me hooked on comic books. And then in the afternoon, if there was anything worth watching, we'd open up the newspaper to the movie section and we'd see what was playing in Mansfield. And I don't remember if I'd already seen everything I wanted to see or whatever, but saw this one, and my grandfather wanted to see this movie with Jackie Gleason. I'm like, okay, why not? And it was good. It is a comedy, but it's, I guess we'd call it a dramedy these days.
All right.
It's one of those ones that's it's an antagonistic father-son kind of story,
Okay.
and there's resolution, and it
All right.
gets, yeah, it's good. You should see it, definitely.
I'll look for it. Okay, it's probably good.
Oh yeah.
Flight of the
Flight of the
Navigator.
I think we rewatched this recently on Big Al's channel.
This was another Disney disaster, wasn't it? This
Or
was
maybe it was an F, so it might have been Netter's channel, but yeah.
Hold on. What did this do box office wise? I need to look this up because I don't know if I saw this in the theater. I think I did. I know I saw it on Disney Channel. I might have seen this in the theater. That's the thing. I think people back in the 80s, you forget there were those of us that were wanting Disney to make their comeback. It just hadn't happened. I remember it's about some kid. There's some sort of alien abduction thing going on where he ends up into the future, and his little brother is now older than he is, like at college age, right? And
exactly.
it's this weird relationship, and then it turns out there's a sentient spacecraft in it, right? That he can operate.
Yes, voiced by Paul Rubens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How did this do at the box office?
I'm looking.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia. I'm just because I'm thinking that Disney had their 1-2 disaster with Black Cauldron and Return to Oz, and I'm wondering if this happened again with Great Mouse Detective and Flight of the Navigator.
The film received mainly positive reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a rating of 85% based on 33 reviews, with an average rating of 6.6 out of 10. The consensus reads, bolstered by impressive special effects and charming performance from the young star, Flight of the Navigator holds up as a solidly entertaining bit of family-friendly sci-fi.
It was okay. I didn't have a problem with it.
I'm not seeing any box office numbers for it, though.
I think when things get set back to normal, he's actually nicer to his little brother when the time thing gets reset and he's back to where he's supposed to be. He decides, I'll start being nicer to my little brother that I was not so nice to in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. The film has not only been one of Hollywood films use extensive computer graphic imagery. Specifically, it was the first to use image-based lighting and an early use of morphing in a motion picture.
It was the ship that did the morphing.
The ship, would morph a door and a landing gear and stuff like that. It was one of Hollywood productions' first to feature an entirely electronic music film score composed using a synclavier, one of the first digital multi-track recorders and samples. Interesting.
I wonder who did the effects for this. Okay, never mind. It wasn't.
Film has since developed a cult following among sci-fi and Disney fans. The latest plans of a reboot were announced in 2021.
Please stop.
I know.
Just leave things be.
What they should do, if Disney was really smart with something like this, they should plan a what are your boutique HD home video companies,
Arrow Video or
all those special effects.
Yeah.
Disney should do it.
Yeah.
Do like a behind the scenes, the history of, talk about the special effects and how groundbreaking they were and stuff. But before you release that, do a big marketing push and release it in theaters. Again, re-release it in theaters.
Well.
Because it costs you nothing. Nothing. You don't have to spend hundreds of millions on a new movie. Just re-release the old one.
Yeah, but it's Flight of the Navigator. Do you think there'd be an audience for it now? I don't know.
Yes, because right now you have the retro nostalgia thing. The whole
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things,
okay.
Exactly.
Does he ride a bike in this movie? I guess he does, right? So is it the kids on bike thing? Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's all there, and they are missing because if they do this 10 years from now, it'll be too late.
Okay. Well, maybe. Don't do it. Don't do science fiction again. You screwed up with Tron. Okay, I'm just over it. Okay. Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives.
Okay, was this the one
Zombie Jason, Frankenstein Jason.
where what's his name?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Tommy Jarvis.
Yep.
I was angry at this movie because who's with him in the graveyard? It's the actor that played Horshack on Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yes,
right?
yes, it was. Yeah.
When Jason stabs him, I wanted him to go, ooh, 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 before dying. That should have happened. And because this is supposed to be more comical anyway.
Yes, I mean, that would have been so in line with like Paul Rubin's vampire character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, ooh.
Do we like this movie? It's the first supernatural Jason movie.
You know, you make a great point. This was the transition when it went from it could just be a guy who, you know, is out killing people and hasn't died yet to nope, he died and now he's supernaturally a revenant, you know.
Yes.
I do like it because I'm more annoyed that it was Tommy Jarvis because Tommy Jarvis had established himself as the survivor kid. You know, he's the one that was smart enough to, you know, shave his head and, you know.
What is he doing in this? I'm going to dig up his grave and mess up his corpse. Why? Just leave him in the ground.
Exactly.
There's no reason to mess with anything.
You lost all of your intelligence somehow between, you know, I don't know, man. It was just.
Lightning comes out of the sky, revives the body, and now he's just, I'm back, baby.
But it does solidify you're right. It does bring, there was always question about whether there was a supernatural element to it. This establishes, yes there is. If there wasn't before, it's there now, you know, which allows us to continue the franchise. I'm good with it.
Okay.
I have them all on DVD. All of them. You know I like this movie.
We've talked about this before. Listen, there's half a good movie here.
There's a Geeky Geezers where we do a focus on one scene from this, and it has gotten the most clicks in the history of Geeky Geezers.
Why don't we go over that scene again? It's where Leia Thompson is coming on to a anthropomorphic duck, and his feathers are raising on his head.
Exactly right. And she's in her undies, and wow, that was Leia Thompson. You can't. She was the '80s for most teenage boys. It's absolutely true.
You notice how I picked the poster that had her on the cover, on the magazine cover? Yes.
Because otherwise, what's the point of the movie?
I argue that there's half a good movie here. The stuff that's just him, he's stuck on Earth, he finds the punk band, he's trying to do that. I think that's all fine. And then we get into the Dark Overlords of Delgon or whatever showing up, which I'm sorry. And I get why that's there, because that was probably George Lucas saying, we need a monster for him to fight to prove his courage. And they were good effects. I remember thinking when I was a kid, those monsters are pretty cool effects. The stop motion animation and they had like these, what was it? These claws. They look kind of like the Rancor monster, but they had like these manacle claws on them. And I don't know.
There was also some elements of it that made me think Buckaroo Banzai. You know.
Yeah, Buckaroo Banzai was good. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry.
But the other problem here is that this was, and we saw this a lot, especially with Marvel-related properties, which Howard the Duck is.
Yes, it is.
It is a Marvel Comics character divorced from Marvel Comics, and that's a real problem. It was a problem for all of the Marvel stories because there's so much interplay between these characters. Well, you can't use that villain because that's also a villain that's tied up with the rights for this character as well. So, and there were Marvel stories related to Howard the Duck and their whole cosmic, what would now you'd think of as Guardians of the Galaxy type related stories that they could have gotten into and didn't. And so they went limp, half-hearted, let's invent a bunch of crap space story, which I don't know. Maybe George Lucas just isn't really good at coming up with stories set in space. Could be.
I mean, there's some funny scenes in it when Tim Robbins starts trying to talk to him in Duck. Remember that? Like
yeah,
Donald
he's like,
Duck.
what are you saying?
doing? It's like and like there's a scene where he corners one of the guys that are strong arming I guess Leia Thompson's band, and he goes, I have space rabies, and they're talking to the one guy, I think I heard about that on the news, remember? And that was a fun, like there's some genuinely funny scenes, and then we get the stuff with the Dark Overlord played by the principal from Ferris Bueller, who's a hero.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Anything left to say? Let's move on.
I'm just gonna say Leia Thompson. Check it out.
She's nice to look at. Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Moving on to A Fine Mess. Danson and Howie Mandel and Ted Danson.
And Ted Danson.
Okay.
I must have seen this movie. It's a Blake Edwards movie. So I guarantee you it's gonna be funny and a bit gay.
Okay, it might be good. I like Howie Mandel, and Ted Danson can be good in certain things. So yeah, okay, yeah, all right. Maybe it's worth checking out, but I don't know what it is. Okay, let's move on, huh? One Crazy Summer. I need to watch this. I know this cover from a kid, seen in the video store. I've always meant to watch.
Demi Moore. Is
John Cusack in this?
John Cusack, yes.
All right. Okay, is it good? It's fun,
it
funny.
Is good.
Okay.
Fun, funny, summer adventure. Is
it like The Sure Thing, but in summer? Okay.
Kinda.
Okay.
And since we're talking summer movies, this is very much a summer movie. It's a summer movie set in summer. It's not a summer movie set at Christmas time. Just saying.
Yeah, that's weird.
I agree. Yes.
But yeah, I remember that cover though, and that I was always intrigued by it, and I always.
And you've never seen it, huh?
I need to watch it. I'll make a list of all these movies, and I'm going to watch them this summer.
You know who else was in this?
Who?
Bobcat Goldthwait.
He's funny.
He was awesome. Yes, I
like the way he talks.
Yeah, that was definitely his shtick. There are times when he would forego that for a role, and you almost wouldn't realize it was him. Look at Scrooged, for example.
Oh yeah.
Only later in the movie, when he starts to get frazzled, does that
pops out of him? Yes, you're right.
And you're like, "Holy crap, that's Bobcat!"
Yes. He was funny. Okay, I remember him in what was the name of that movie with the talking horse?
Oh,
Mr. Ed?
No. It wasn't Mr. Ed though. It was something
because they talk about Mr. Ed in that movie.
Yeah.
And
I forgot.
Hot to Trot.
That's right.
Yes, and John Candy was the voice of the horse.
That's
and he
right.
said, "What do you mean? What about Mr. Ed?" And he said, "No, they just made his lips move, and your lips are moving too. If somebody shoved the carrot up your, well, you know what? Okay,
yeah.
It's just anyway.
Actually, I think it was peanut butter, but anyway. Bobcat Goldthwait was also a regular in the later seasons of Moonlighting.
I guess so. Okay, cool. Transformers the movie. I think I watched this with Birdman.
I was not a huge Transformers fan, didn't really watch the cartoons, so I had no real impetus to go see this movie. But from what I hear, there's a very tragic story that was very Old Yellerish for the Transformer fans.
Oh yeah, Optimus. Well, shall I just spoil it?
Yeah, I mean it's a 40-year-old
Optimus Prime
movie.
dies, and I'd heard that there were children crying in the theater when that happened. They were very upset because he was the big hero of the original show, and he dies in this movie. Yeah. And what was the villain? Unitron or something in this, or Megalon? I don't know. Anyway, the animation's very good. They got I could tell they got a Japanese animation studio to work on this. It has a very anime style look without necessarily being anime, because it's not anime, but you could tell they got a Japanese studio to work on.
Because it's still in line with the the TV show, right?
Yeah, it's a good looking movie. I just and the soundtrack they actually had an interesting soundtrack featured Weird Al's "Dare to Be Stupid" on it.
Really?
Yes,
I
yes.
wouldn't have guessed that. Okay.
That showed up on his other album, "Dare to Be Stupid." So I just listened to it there.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, I
Okay.
mean, yeah, it's there you go. Transformers, you're a fan. It's gotten a number of DVD releases over the years. Armed and Dangerous with John Candy. Any
John
good?
Candy. Yeah, I don't remember. This was
I
one
don't
of
think
his.
anyone remembers this one.
I know it's probably very good, but he's had so many great movies that have really outshadowed.
Yeah.
I may have to go back and revisit this one. I
Look
forgot.
at all these comedies. Comedies and horror movies those are the two genres of movie you can make where you don't have to spend a lot of money. You're guaranteed to make your money back and make a profit because they don't cost a lot to make. Comedies and horror movies. Those are the two.
Oh, okay.
Oh
here's,
my goodness.
Here's that Cronenberg movie you were thinking
Oh
about.
boy. Oh boy. This is some nightmare fuel right here.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But I'll tell you something. This is, if you're going to remake a story, this is the way you do it. Now, there are some things that I think were ill-advised, some choices that were made that I feel were ill-advised that kind of hurt the story. But by and large, this is, we're going to take this and really remake it and just full on go for it. You know,
They were very careful in the promoting of this. They were very respectful of the original Fly. They're saying we're not here to replace it. We're hoping this could be seen as a companion movie. Like they had Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum. I think went out to have a nice words with Vincent Price. About this. We're not trying to undo what you did. It was your movie's.
And I'll bet I know exactly what was going on in his head. It's like, I don't care. I really don't care.
He's probably thinking, did I make
Have
that
fun.
movie? It's
Oh,
like,
was
I in the Fly?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember being a fly. Oh, right. I was like the narrator.
He was he wasn't the main guy. He was the guy inside. But yeah,
he was the framing character, the
yes.
audience insert kind of a character.
This movie freaked me out. I saw this on video. This is one of these hide your eyes movie as I was a kid, man. Because like the plot line of this one is instead of it being like it's more like a fusion of DNA instead of it being like his head gets swapped out with the flies. And it's basically an early version of the transporter. I can't imagine why Dr. McCoy hates these things or Ensign Barkley.
Right.
Or Lieutenant Barkley, I should say, because it's just it's not safe. Teleportation is not safe.
Right. What was the actor's name? Was it John Getz, I think, who played basically the role that would have been analogous to Vincent Price's role?
Maybe.
But
there was this sleazy scientist that was trying to rip him off. I think there was that going on in this because Jeff Goldblum's character had created this, and.
It was another one of those. It was good hard sci-fi.
Yeah.
Well, leaning into hard sci-fi anyway, where they never put that much thought into horror movies. So this whole idea of, and for those that never saw the original Fly, the guy gets into a similar story, has a teleporter. There's an accident because a fly is in there with him and they get combined and you still end up with two creatures that come out the other side, him with a giant fly head and a fly claw and a little fly that flies away that has his head and a human hand.
Yes.
And if you think about that, that makes no damn sense. Because how do you shrink a human hand and head and not be so heavy that the fly couldn't fly?
It was some cigar-chomping producer says, I want the fly head on the man's body.
And rightly so. But this movie thinks that through and says, how does that actually happen? Well, no, we don't have it be two separate. We have them combined on a molecular level, at the genetic level. And now his metabolism becomes like the fly. It's way sped up. And now he's slowly metamorphosizing into a fly. a full-size fly.
And
by the end, you get the giant fly head and all of that. And it like, yeah, that makes sense, right?
Skin's falling off. His ear falls off. Just gross stuff. Just grody movie. Yes.
It is Cronenberg disgusting, absolutely true. But good sci-fi.
Good sci-fi.
The other element that I had a hard time with here, that I felt detracted from it, was in the original movie, the scientist is a family man who's married and has a son.
Yeah.
Whereas in this movie, he and Gina were just a hookup, you know? And so you don't have that same kind of, you know, and in the original movie, it's heart-wrenching when you literally have the wife helping to end the experiment, let's say.
Yep.
It is brutal. Here, it's just her trying to survive.
Yeah.
And then kind of feeling bad when she realizes how much he's suffering. A little bit of that at the end, but by and large, it's just a monster movie, and she's trying to survive it. You know, I just. Well,
yeah, but it was.
I think this also sets itself up for the sequel movie, which is not even so much of a remake of the Son of the Fly, but I thought a much better story as a sequel than the original in that case, which is sad because it didn't do that well in theaters as a sequel to this movie. It's an example where it actually was a better remake.
Billy Crudup was, I think, the Son of the Fly, basically. Yeah, right. If I remember right.
In the original?
No, in this sequel, Fly 2. Is that Billy Crudup?
No, I thought it was
the guy with the red hair.
Yeah.
Hold on, that's not his name. Billy Crudup.
No.
What's his name? It's gonna bother me all night here. Anyway, who cares? It's a sequel.
Eric Stoltz. It was Eric Stoltz.
Why am I confusing those two? All right, let you get.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was the one that was the original Marty McFly.
See, I always imagined that
Marty McFly. He played the Fly.
Get through these in 2 hours, and we don't. Manhunter, nothing to say but classic. I like this.
Yeah, forget all your what was it?
Red
Silence
Dragon.
of the Lambs and Red Dragon, all that bullshit. Watch this movie and forget all the rest.
I like Ian Holmes' performance as Hannibal Lecter. It's different than Anthony Hopkins, but still very good. Yeah, it's worth checking out. Michael Mann movie. The actor was on CSI for all those years too. Is the main guy in this? That 1986 adaptation. And based on William Peterson. Yeah, he's the lead in this too. Yeah, good movie. I'm not going to say anything bad. Like that poster too.
Yep. Very minimalist. I kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Night of the Creeps. I enjoy this one. Have you seen this?
I have. I don't think so.
It's not bad. It's a zombie. It's an 80s teenage zombie picture. There's an alien angle to it too with the zombies. Night of the Creeps.
Good news, your date is here. Bad news. He's dead. I
think you'd enjoy it. Yeah, it's not bad.
I think this would probably pair really well with what was that zombie movie? It was more recent with the kid that was in Renfield.
Warm Bodies.
Warm Bodies.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's actually it's pretty cool. There's aliens involved. There are these slug things that get into corpses. It's not bad. It's got that one guy who's always in all the horror movies. He was in the beginning of Creepshow. He was in Halloween 3. He's in this too. Directed by Fred Decker. Tom Atkins is in this as like the cop having to deal with all the weirdness. Yeah. So it takes place at these guys are trying to get into a frat house, and they have to they're not letting them in, or they're getting into a fight with the frat guys, and then they want to date the sorority girls, and then of course the zombies start showing up. It's not bad. I recommend it.
I'll have to check it out.
It's fun. It'd be a fun one to watch around Halloween time. Yeah. Shanghai Surprise.
if you didn't see it back in '86, who is going to watch it now? Because
Oh,
who actually gives a flying F about Sean Penn and Madonna anymore? I
I,
just
I
forget it.
almost didn't even put this one on here. I'm gonna
No, it's good for the reaction, right? I'm sure she had a song out of this that I don't give a flying F about.
Okay, moving on to Stand By Me.
Yeah,
Another Stephen King adaptation, but one of the more serious works. Had a pretty good cast. Jerry O'Connell, I think, was in this. Will Wheaton, back in the day. River Phoenix.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kiefer Sutherland was in this too, I think. Yeah. It's based on the book The Body, right? Or the story The Body, which
the whole story is a little adventure story for a group of kids that are literally going to see a dead body that somebody heard about. You know,
and Corey Feldman's in this.
Corey Feldman.
He's one of the 4 kids. Yes.
And I mean, as you would guess from the title, surprisingly, it brought the song "Stand By Me" back into. Was that Ben E. King?
Yeah, I think so.
Brought that song back to the charts. Why not? You know. Yeah. So yeah, good movie. Yeah, there's a lot of Stephen King movies that weren't in and of themselves horror films.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption is obviously the first
Dolores
one.
Claiborne, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of movies like that are really good movies that I don't know how they all play out as books, but yeah.
We have here the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Look at this poster. What is this making fun of?
It's making fun of Breakfast Club.
Yes. The director, Tobe Hooper, who came back, it's surprising he has 2 movies coming out some of the same time. He wanted to make the sequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre a comedy. He thought that the audiences were upset and changed by and shocked by the original Chainsaw Massacre. He wanted to shock them in a different way by making the sequel a comedy. Do you understand?
Yeah. I think that's actually a brilliant idea. Your mileage may vary though.
And then the producer, I think it was Menahem Golan from Golden Globes, came in and says, "Where are the monsters?" He got really angry. And the sad thing is, I don't know if that cut survived, the comedic cut. Because they had to go out and reshoot scenes. It'd be great if they could re-release that original comedic cut. Because I'm curious about it. It's kind of a funny movie. In the beginning of this movie, when the Sawyer family reemerges because they've been disappeared since that incident in the first movie, they reemerge and they're attacking these guys in this car. And Tobe Hooper said, "Well, in the '70s, we're going to have them attacking hippies. It's the '80s, so we're going to have them attacking yuppies."
Makes sense.
There's comedic stuff. The lead actress liked this movie though because she said she met her husband on it and has been happily married ever since. But
there you go. That's nice.
Because she was from Texas and she moved out to LA to make this movie. But Dennis Hopper's in this as a crazed Texas Ranger wanting revenge for his niece that was one of the victims in the first Texas Chainsaw. So he's after Leatherface.
Fair.
He's learning how to use a chainsaw. There's a big old chainsaw fight at the end of this movie. Not bad. I wish they had actually kept the straight up comedy because there's some funny scenes in this. Like there's a scene where Mr. Sawyer is winning the chili cook-off, and he's, "How do you make this chili? What's your secret?" And he goes, "Oh, no secret really. It's just the meat." Do you understand? Because
I get it. Yes.
And then she bites into something and says, "Oh, it must have been a hard shell peppercorn." He takes that around and you can tell it's like a tooth or something. It's like, what are you doing? It's funny. I'm sorry.
And that's it.
That's the end. Okay, that's it. We ended on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I'm sorry.
No, it is what it is.
Because at this point we're getting into the fall, but maybe when you go on a trip again, we'll do the rest of the movies from 1986. So
we could. I don't see why not. We'll do 86, the sequel, part 2.
Do you have a favorite from this list that we did? It might be.
That's
Big
hard.
Trouble.
I mean,
it might be Big Trouble in Little China for me. That might be my number one.
It would either be Under the Cherry Moon or About Last Night. One of those two.
Both good. Good summer for movies. Yeah,
it was.
I don't want to say it was like as iconic as some of the other summers, but there's a lot of hits here, and just shows that they knew what they were doing back then. And I wish that they would get back to knowing what they were. I mean, if we got a third of what they got back then, we'd be in
I
good
know.
shape right now,
I
or
know.
even a fourth.
The cinema itself would be in
Yeah,
good shape.
yeah.
We are truly, truly in danger of losing the cinema experience because of all the crap that's been coming out. And we have too many people that are running cover for it, saying, oh, this is good enough. No, it's not. Have more respect for yourself and for the entertainment industry. All right? Let's get our heads on straight, folks.
Exactly.
Speaking of getting my head on straight, I'm probably today, as you're watching this, probably having a lot of fun in Tennessee. Probably doing some drinking, definitely doing some partying, and remembering a time when I loved Star Wars. It's a predominantly Star Wars convention that we're going to. I'll tell you all about it when we get back. And tomorrow night, of course, Big Al's taking it's his week anyway. Don't think I'm going to be back in time for Geeky Geezers, but I'm going to try to be back in time for Doctor Who after it, which, if I'm not mistaken, will be the last part of our Dalek Invasion of Earth story.
That's classic.
As we're recording it tonight, I'll be playing the second part of it. So, okay, that kind of continuity. But I should definitely be back in time for Members Night at the Movies, although I haven't even done the one for the previous week as of right now, so I haven't even thought about what I'm going to do next week. Maybe it'll be one of these movies from 1986. Maybe
pick 4 of them. Do a poll, maybe.
Maybe that's actually not a bad idea. I think maybe I will do that. And let's see. Well, and that gets us into the Monday, and you guys know what's coming, and we'll get to that then. Anything else before we wrap it up, Boomer, and get these guys back to their weekend?
No, just thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back live next week.
And right now, I don't know exactly if this is going up on just my channel or if we're going to get it up on the other affiliated channels. I don't know if there's any way I can stream this to X, for example, if that's how you usually watch. But anyway, this is what it is. Thank you so much for keeping my Friday night slot warm for me. Thank you for all the ways that you support me. We are in the upper 80s to 90s of members after last week. We could push it back over 100. If you guys wanted to help me do that, I would greatly appreciate it. But even if that's not something you can do right now, hit that like button, share this stream out, tell all your friends about it. That is more than enough. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight on this pre-recorded last call, just to keep the stream going. Take care of yourselves. Be healthy as possible. Stay hydrated. Drink responsibly, which I'm probably not doing tonight. And I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.
The neon lights are fading, closing time is near. Whispers in the corners, secrets shared sincere. The bartender's polishing the final glass. Time slips away like moving through the grass. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, from me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we've spun. Here's to the laughter and to what's begun. The shadows are dancing as we linger still. Every clink of a glass, a memory to distill. Beneath this smoky haze, I feel serenades us with a final tune, crooning to the lonely and the lovers under the moon. With every soft note, the end draws ever near, but in this fleeting moment, there's nothing to fear. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, for me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we